reasons. Oh, Jimmy's back.
Mood.
That works.
I felt that in the deepest parts of my soul. Morning.
Is the Roomba live? Ah, the Roomba's live!
Let's go.
Oh.
Good.
Fair enough. Well, for perhaps the first time, we're all here on time.
Yeah.
I'm here on time because mainly I have to, because my dad's currently on the East Coast for a convention or something. I'm taking care of the dog, even though my siblings come back from college and it's technically their dog.
Show dog pic, please.
It's hold on. It's just that the fact is my sibling, unless he's forced to, will not wake up before noon.
Me.
Hold on, let's see, do it. No. Let me see if I can quickly find a picture of dog.
I went to sleep at 2:30, but that's because my friends and I we've updated our private server on Minecraft, and we found a sniffer, baby.
Nice.
We were all there for a sniffer. We were all there for when it hatched, and his name is Benedict.
One of
It's
the
the
new
new
mobs.
mobs. They sniff.
It's used to find your items, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the pictures of the dog saved anywhere, dang it.
Anyway, this is a sniffer. They find torchflower seeds and pitcher plant pods.
Alright, they find new decorative blocks because the Minecraft mobs are not allowed to be useful. Because keep in mind, the things the mob boats put is we've got this thing, we've got glow squid, which doesn't even glow, and we've got phantoms.
Phantoms are the bane of my existence, and I hate that they exist.
The phantom literally only got it because like everyone's like, oh yeah, that sounds cool, and then they get implemented in the most annoying way imaginable.
You know what's a horny bunk? It's phantoms are basically just go to sleep bunk.
Yeah, and you know,
Go to fucking sleep.
even more annoying though. It makes it even more annoying. When they were added, they dropped the phantom membrane, which was used to repair the elytra, like how you can use like diamonds to repair diamond equipment in Manville, right? Yeah. Snowfall potions. The thing is though, in like the same update that they implemented them to like allow you to fix your elytra, they added mending. You know, the best enchantment in the entire game. So it's like, no point.
You sound like you have a stuffy nose, Loki. Are you like me and you get stuffy noses in the morning?
No.
Okay.
I just didn't wake up that long ago, and I'm still
okay.
drinking my morning drink, so.
I should go soon. I want some coffee. Dude, I want to go to the not the coffee bean. Although coffee bean sounds good too. Dunkin' Donuts or coffee bean, honestly. Not sponsored.
I don't actually drink coffee. Was it what? Okay.
We can talk about that. Meep, you were gonna say something?
I was gonna mention that I don't drink coffee. My dad is a very big coffee person. And my dad uses dr- what he drinks is he has very high quality coffee that he gets. Like I think it's like Kona coffee or whatever that he gets like from Hawaii.
Ooh, that shit's good.
Which he drinks in large quantities, but he drinks it. Uh, the technical coffee term is black, aka with nothing in it. It's just the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pure coffee is too bitter for me. I'm one of those annoying bitches. They don't that not the ones that like order like a huge order of like different accommodations in my coffee. Um, I just want the chocolatey one. I am so upset that Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf got rid of the dark chocolate flavor. That was my favorite, and it's just gone now, unceremoniously.
I'm not a fan of dark chocolate.
I love dark chocolate.
Anyway, the thing is though with like the coffee like that is first of all my dad will always insist whenever he has someone over for the first time if like gonna try the coffee to at least try it with nothing in it because it's the actual like good coffee so it
The
doesn't
bean.
need anything in it.
Yeah.
The other thing is like he's mentioned like his doctor's like yeah it's probably not the best that you drink like an entire like
Trees worth of coffee beans.
no not that one just like he's got like the big coffee maker that he basically drinks every day and his dog's like no it's probably not the best thing for you to be doing but it's better than alcohol and you don't put anything in it so it's not that bad and you know what he doesn't even do that.
I was muted. Okay. Well, at least I realized fairly early on.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. The other thing is like coffee. It's like depending on like what you put in and whatnot, it's like arguably actually healthy because there's been studies that found yeah that helps with some certain things. Which is let's go. The other thing is actually like how caffeine works
Cool,
for
Fifi.
both coffee and tea. It's not actually that it makes you less tired. It just suppresses the part of your brain that makes you realize you're tired. Which I suppose is basically the difference between subtracting one and adding negative one, but
Yeah.
anyway, that's the what I usually drink in the mornings. I have or just actually at all freaking hours a day is freaking powdered iced tea mix that I just mix in with a whole bunch of water.
Yes. I
It's
also
not.
like
I like it, and it's tea that would offend any British person ever. So, as an American, I
that.
approve.
I really like black tea, but I'll also drink it. I don't know if like I swear this is like a British way to drink it, but I like with like sugar and oat milk for a specific black tea, and it's just really nice. It kind of tastes like coffee at that point, and that's the one of the few teas I will drink. The other one is like this Korean tea. It's like a jelly that you mix in hot water, and it has like orange rinds in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. It's almost like a
Hold
hot
on, I
juice at
just
that point.
remembered something. What's the exact line for that?
Well, while you two are like speaking about coffee and tea, which are both things I do not drink, I'm just here. I just left Gran Turismo 4 on basically the AI drives for you mode, and I'm just here vibing, which is nice. I like vibing. We like the vibes in here. Which I have something to say. Tomorrow I finish my practice program.
Nice.
Go.
I may not or may not be paid. That is still a question mark.
You get paid.
Hmm.
I would like for you to get paid.
I would like to as well, but
Getting paid is generally a good thing.
yeah, but who knows?
Oh, here it is. Here's what I was looking for. Uh, traditionally, traditional Korean fairy tales do not begin with once upon a time. Instead, they begin with back when tigers used to smoke.
Remember that. I think that's a really fun one. So, you wanted to talk about nostalgia today.
I think the idea that I had was nostalgia and things remember your nostalgia and shit like that and things that you did when you were younger. I don't know why. I just felt like it. I think that was the idea. I don't know why. I think it's because I've lately been playing a lot of like older games. Like the game that I'm playing right now is from 2005. I feel very old thinking that I was a little child when this game came out, and there's people that are younger than a video game that
Year
I've played.
2005.
Oh, wait. Are, Jimmy, did you or Amita? I don't know if either of you watch him. Are you two familiar with RT Game? Switch streamer?
Yes.
I might.
Did you see that he streamed himself watching an old recording of the 2003 E3 presentation?
No, I did not. But oh my god.
It's on his YouTube channel, the archive of the state today.
Funny.
It's interesting.
Yeah, they were different times. That's the thing. Like a lot of, like oh yeah, the good times. They were just different.
There's good times because we weren't living it, but also 2003 was pretty good as an adult too because it's pre-inflation, or
True.
what's the word?
Pre-crisis. Pre-2008 crisis.
Pre the 2008 financial crisis,
Yep.
Yup.
the Great Recession, aka
That's the word I was looking for.
the slightly smaller depression, the not so great depression,
The not so bad depression.
the mediocre depression.
The blues, if you would.
The bleh.
Well, that was the color of the party in charge.
Yup.
Because that's just U.S. It's either your team red or your team blue.
Like in TF2.
Tell you later, nerds.
Pokemon, but worse.
No, TF2, but the worst. Because in TF2 you have Team Red and Team Blue.
Ooh.
Oh,
But also,
You know-
red versus blue for versus two too.
I actually like on the
True.
topic of the TF2, the lore trademark thing. You know how like the joke is it's all the worthless land full of nothing but gravel.
Oh my god, don't remind me of the gravel thing. Oh my god. The other day I raided a streamer playing Mystery Dungeon Express of Sky for the first time. And for some reason, at one point, someone like gifted a shitload of subs. Like, I'm just going to go on a limb and say 60. And so the
That's a lot of
streamer,
subs.
yeah. And so the streamer calls his partner and he's like, well, I'm gonna stream for 10 hours more, so tell my D&D party that I can't make it today. And when you get home, can you bring me some gravel? Because we were like, it was like some form of meme about gravel rocks, and the actual partner brought some gravel.
But anyway, as I was gonna say about like the TF2 lore, the lore is the land's worthless. It's full of nothing but gravel.
Yeah.
The thing is like, if you actually like look at the timeline of when the game is set,
Mm-hmm.
gravel would actually be worth a lot of money.
Why?
Because it's set right as the United States is starting to build the interstate highway system, and you need a lot of gravel
Oh.
for that.
That makes sense.
So that's like a high level meta joke if you know your history. But what, some old style nostalgia stuff to try and stay on top. I don't know. Does TF2 count? When's that game?
I
When did
mean,
that game
TF2 is
come
like
out?
2009, isn't it? It is kind of an old game. It already has a decade. At minimum, a decade old.
1 second.
2007.
Oh wow, that's
Almost two.
oh my god, that's almost 20 years. In like 3-4 years, it's gonna be 20 years. Wait, TF2 came out at the same time as Gen 4? Well,
Apparently.
same year. Because Gen 4 is 2007.
Team Fortress 2. Look, if there's any Team Fortress 2, the only thing has any chance of outliving Team Fortress 2 that's currently around today is the B-52.
That's a plane, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The Jimmy, the B-52 is the single longest serving aircraft in history.
Ah.
The B-52's invention is closer to the first powered airplane than the modern day.
Okay. So it's been a minute. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There is at least, and the Air Force brags about this, there's at least one current B-52 crewman who is flying the same aircraft that both his father and grandfather flew.
Okay, that is kind of cool though. Okay, that is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. That is something to brag about a little bit. Like, if you have an aircraft or any kind of technology that lasts that long, that is some reliable stuff.
Well, part of why it works is because they decommissioned like half the fleet as part of some deal with the Soviet Union, which means they just basically have a big field full of spare parts.
I mean, fair enough,
That,
but
so anytime anything breaks, they just go to the field and pull off spare parts.
it's still, it's been for a long time, so
Yeah. I mean, the reason they're kept around is because they fill a very specific niche where they carry a whole bunch of ordnance and they do it very cheaply. They're very good for either low threat environments, that, and they can deploy cruise missiles in large quantities.
That, yikes. But yeah,
I mean,
Mina.
Given that these things were
Oh wait,
designed to
Mina's here.
literally good
But you-
old-fashioned fly over something and drop nukes on it, but then they found they could drop other things.
They can drop other things. Mina, since
Hello?
I think you're the oldest from all three of us.
Yeah. I'm ancient, dude.
Boomer.
I didn't mean it that way, but take it with however you want. I was going to ask, did you ever take the driver's license? Do you have a driver's license?
I have
Yeah.
a driver's license, Jimmy.
You do? Oh my god, I'm the only one that doesn't. I'm
Here
going.
in the United,
Okay.
here in the United
Jimmy,
States, you can get
Jimmy.
your driver's license as young as 16.
Ah.
You can get a learner's permit at 15 and a half. Jimmy, this is we live in the United States. All the infrastructure depends on you having a car.
Fair enough. Hear me out though. I'm planning on
Like-
taking me my driver's license this summer. I will, at least attempt to. Same as getting a higher degree in English. But yeah, I was going to ask Mina. I didn't know me, Pat. What was your first car?
My first car.
Yeah,
I
just-
have a Volkswagen. It's salvaged twice, but it works.
Ah.
So I just googled it, Jimmy. 89% of American adults have a driver's license.
I mean, fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, makes sense. My bad.
So, yeah.
I sometimes forget that America relies so much on cars.
Yeah, we were like.
Thank you, General Motors. We
Um,
have set up our entire infrastructure to support
Based
the
on your
product.
whims.
We've only had to bail you out for $50 billion.
Because you can't manage your fucking money.
Because they
Yeah.
they already tried with K cars in the 80s.
And
now they can't do that kind of shit.
I
again.
looked it up. Of the non-government owned pseudo corporations, General Motors has had to be bailed out for the most money of all American.
And I think
corporations.
American car companies have been bailed out twice. Once has been like after the recession, and one was in the 80s when the gas crisis happened.
I don't know. It's just
Pretty sure
yeah.
that's something that
we
happened.
could spend our money on things like public transportation or healthcare, but no, we have to spend it on bailing out big corpo and turning
Them fail.
children in the Middle East into skeletons.
If they can't manage their money, they should just fail. That's my motto.
Yeah.
I know
Smooth.
people depend on them for
How it
jobs.
works for everyone else.
Oh, that is how it works for everyone else, but
But
no Ubi company.
Only
I've had my license for the past 5 years. I got it when I turned 18. And my brother recently got his license too.
Wait, hold
I
on.
nearly had- mine's almost up for renewal.
That math don't add up to me. Wait, hold on. It's 2023, 5 years ago. That means 2018.
Yes.
How old? Wait, are you from the? No, wait. You're older than me, aren't you? You're.
I think Mina's barely young enough to be a Zoomer, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm on December 98.
I
Oh, so
think
you were
technically
20. Okay. Oh my god. I was like 28 5 years ago when I got 18. I'm like, "Wait, hold on. No, that math don't add up because that means that you would be from my same year. Because it's 2023, you subtract 5, that's 2018. I got to 18 years old in 2018. I'm like, "Wait, hold on." You imagine like the YouTube
I
buffer button on my face, on my head, like just buffering, trying to do the math.
just a
That
dial.
Okay, I
was
can't do math either.
Oh,
that
that
was
reminds me. That reminds me. You know the ridiculous dial-up internet sound? For the
yes.
longest
Yes.
time, I thought that was like a made-up thing until I actually heard it
No, it's
in real life.
not. That
It's
is
not.
that
It's
was
a real
old
thing.
internet. I remember
That,
hearing that
that was old
noise.
internet. And the thing is, well, first of all, I'm from like tech capital of the world, so obviously I wouldn't know that. I have
Fair
no knowledge of
enough.
But I actually heard it in real life, and it really says something about the United States. Want to know where I heard it?
Go
In a
ahead.
government office?
At the post office.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's go.
The United States Postal Service using dial-up internet in
Doesn't like 90%.
2021.
That explains so fucking much.
Doesn't like 90% of computers, at least used to, 90% of computers like in like USA public stuff be like Windows XP or Windows 7?
Well, they were
Yep.
Windows XP for a very long time. In part of that wasn't just because they didn't update, but also apparently Windows XP was like really reliable and whatnot. It was very, very well. Like it was, I think it's one of Microsoft's longest supported operating system.
I mean, yeah,
Because it was good.
Windows XP
And
is old reliable.
yeah, at least until they finally stopped supporting it, and all the government had to update all their stuff, which I'm sure has
Dude.
made Microsoft a lot of money.
Think the American government would be able to like provide up-to-date computers for some of their stuff, but no, if I remember right, immigration services are still using paper to this day to keep track of everything, and that's part of why they're so behind.
Nina, my mom the other day was cleaning out her desk and found a 8-inch CD, the small version CDs, like the GameCube size CDs.
Oh wow, that's tiny.
That contained the drivers for her mouse.
Oh my
I still have
god.
the drivers for my
And I would
old
like to point out
computers.
that mouse is like 6 months younger than I am. It is older than my sibling.
Holy
That's
shit.
funny as fuck.
That is waggy.
So I did not hesitate. My mom like shared on Facebook that she found this. I'm like, so how does it feel having a computer mouse at your government job older than one of your adult children?
Oh my god.
To which then someone responded with the Saving Private Ryan clip of him getting older at the end of the movie. Which that is actually a very cool scene in any like actual movie, because like it's shifts from him like in the whole movie technically flashback shifts from him to like him in the modern day, and it's like the phase shifts it, as then he goes to like talk to I think the characters like I don't know. It's been a while since I watched that movie. That is a very good movie, Saving Private Ryan. It's a very, very well done movie. It is very good.
Very American.
I mean, it's focusing on America. The thing with the movie is not just that it's very
Hello, Octo.
Yeah, no. The
Saving
man.
Private Ryan is not just good because it's well shot, looks very good, and it's got the very gritty war stuff, but also because it, it also shows like the Americans doing no stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a part of the D-Day scene of that movie is they're like up on the cliff, and there's a couple people in German uniforms trying to surrender. They get shot by an American guy who says something really assholey. But then, like, if you actually know what's going on, they're not even German. It's a pair of it's a pair of Czech conscripts speaking in Czech, trying to surrender. It's like, I'm not German, please don't shoot me. They stole me from my homes and made me man the walls. Help.
That's unfortunate.
It doesn't. It doesn't hurt the movie either that Tom Hanks is in it.
Tom Hanks is an amazing
Oh,
actor.
right, it's a Tom Hanks movie.
Tom Hanks is a really good actor and voice actor.
The other thing I have to say about that movie that they did is, in like the Final Battle scene, they have the obligatory tiger tank because it's obligatory.
Because it's a
First
World
of all,
War
that's
II.
actually- It's a World War II movie. They have to have a tiger tank. It's basically the rule. Unless
That
it's
and a
10%.
Sherman.
Yeah. Well, they have obviously they have Sherman. It's an American,
It's an American movie.
but they have the obligatory tiger tank. Probably should be. First of all, it's actually a pretty good mock-up tiger tank.
Let's go.
It's a very well made mock-up. Like the only they chose a very good basis for it and whatnot. But the other thing they have that's like unusual is they have like other vehicles that's like that you wouldn't expect to see. Like they have, I think it's Martyr.
Oh
So
wow.
Yeah. It's like they have other vehicles that are like more common vehicles you might actually expect to see. Like they have like a Stug. They have like a,
This is Tuggy. My
Yeah.
Tuggy hurt.
then they have the Tiger, and then
A
they
Panther?
have the. They don't have a Panther.
Whack.
They have just the Tiger. The Panther actually doesn't show up very much in American cinema.
True.
Even though, Americans actually ran into the Panther on a semi-regular basis, unlike the Tiger.
Yeah, because its Panther was the medium tank for the end of the world for Germans.
Also, on the Western Front, basically all the Tigers, just because of where the objectives are and where they were sent to, ended up in the British sectors of the front.
British.
Yeah, so it was mainly the British who were dealing with it, which is kind of convenient because the British actually brought their vehicles with the big guns that could more effectively deal with them.
Big gun.
Because the Americans had Shermans with big guns that could punch through the front of those things. They just left them all in Britain. We just didn't bring them, and then finally brought them like 3 months later. Because all the American tankers were like, well, the normal gun's been working fine in like Italy and in Africa and whatnot. Why do we need the new one? And then they found out why they needed the new one.
So
Just an American pastime at this point to realize, oh shit, I should have brought this instead of bringing it just in case.
I mean, I would like to point out, yesterday I was watching a thing about the paratroop operations for D-Day. Like, a third of the Americans landed without their weapons.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah, because the Americans had like given the paratroopers a new set of equipment that's like bags that can attach to their legs, which they put more equipment in, just to carry like a week's worth of stuff on their person. And a lot of them decided to put their weapons in those because there was no guide on how to actually pack those. And basically, the second they jumped out of the plane, the bags fell off.
Yep. Of course.
Which means like a third of the Americans who were issued with these just didn't have their guns when they landed.
You don't even know, like a pistol or something? Jeez.
No, most people take
Figured
care
out.
of pistols. You Jimmy, unlike in Call of Duty, you basically were only issued a pistol if you were either an officer or you were a vehicle crew.
Oh, fair enough.
And even then, if you were a vehicle crew, you may not have one.
I mean, fair enough, fair enough.
I mean, pilots all have one, but that's because pilots were all officers. But it's like there's a scene in I think the title of the show is The Pacific, where they're trying to get like a amphibious vehicle to drive a bunch of wounded back to like the beach to be picked up, and they're saying no, we've got another objective we have to do. Like the officer like pulls out his pistol, like taps on the vehicle, says you're gonna do this, and they do it. He's like, if you don't know what's going on, he's like, oh, he's threatening them with his pistol. No, pulled out his pistol because no one's wearing rank insignia because it's the Pacific. So pulls out his pistol to be like, hey, I'm an officer. Listen to me, you idiots.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the other thing is the paradrop for D-Day went so badly. Basically, no one was where they were supposed to be. Like, half the people didn't have their stuff. And basically, everyone's like, just looks around. It's like, alright, we have no idea where we are.
Now what?
I've gathered 5 guys, 4 of which I don't know. They're not from my unit. I don't know who the hell they are. I think that one's British.
I think that one's British.
3 of us don't have guns, and one of us who does has someone else's gun. Well, We still have our demolition equipment. We have an objective that involves demolition. We have copious amounts of explosives, and the highest ranking member among us is a corporal. We're the most dangerous people in France.
Why?
Yeah. So basically, everyone just went everywhere at once and just started blowing shit up. So when the Germans looked at it to try and figure out what the Americans' objective was, hold on, we've got an ad break playing. Let's wait for the people without ads.
Okay. I have a couple questions for us when ad breaks up and me finishes the story.
Yeah. Stupid ad break.
I need my money, bro.
Go Bell ad. And Cyberpunk?
Huh?
I'm getting a Cyberpunk ad.
Ah. Oh, right, because they're Cyberpunk got a DLC not long ago. Oh my god, what are you doing?
Yeah. Keanu!
I mean, if you guys subbed, you wouldn't need to suffer through ads.
Alright. We're back to the ad break, I think.
Alright.
1 sec.
So, as I was saying, paratroopers landed
Mm-hmm.
and basically went every direction at once to start blowing shit up. So when the Germans eventually sat down to pull out a map and look at where the hell the paratroopers are moving, they look at it and there is no direction. They're just going in every direction at once. Also, so they have no idea where to send the reinforcements or their mobile reserve. Additionally, they don't know who the hell's in charge because the paratroopers have just stumbled onto at least 3 different headquarters buildings and blown them up and killed everyone inside. And just randomly encountered the general out in his staff car and gunned him down.
Oh.
There are multiple reports of paratroopers showing up to go accomplish their objectives to find their objective on fire. Or paratroopers finding their objective by following the sounds of gunfire of other groups of paratroopers attacking the objective to burn it down.
Absolutely brilliant. America. That sounds like America. Just
There was also the British paratroopers who also did badassery. There was a group of Canadian paratroopers as well, who, at least one of those groups, attacked a position that was an actual small fort basically, with 1/5 of the manpower they were supposed to have and none of the heavy weapons.
and they still did it.
They said,
Yeah, and they succeeded.
we're doing it live.
It's they attacked and the heavy weapons consisted of a single machine gun.
Ah.
Well, they
Heavy
had one
machine
heavy
gun.
machine gun and one light machine gun, and that was it. They were supposed to have an actual kit. Nope, screw it. Just leg it, boys.
I imagine. What were they? Canadians?
It was a British unit.
Oh, fucking! They were T-powered.
Actually, I'm pretty sure most British paratroopers, I think, are probably Scottish. Because generally, in the World War period, if ever the British needed someone to do something crazy, they would either ask the Aussies or ask the Scots.
I mean, it's Scotland. Where do you think Demo Man comes from? It's Scottish.
I'm pretty sure it was a Scottishman who was the guy who stormed Normandy with a longbow. Stormed Normandy with a longbow and a claymore, and got a kill.
But yeah, so I wanted to ask, as I'm, talking to you guys, watching, basically racing, my computer. What was your first video game console?
Had a Wii.
Okay, Nina?
Do
That was my first
handhelds
proper
count?
console.
Yes, any sort of console. That
Game
you
Boy Color.
owned. Okay, so one's in a Game Boy Color, the other's the Wii.
Well, technically, I had like some of those like one-off, like niche, like little kitty.
Yeah,
ones.
but we're talking about actual video game
Like-
consoles.
I mean,
Do you also count the plug and plays?
No,
Okay.
I was
I mean,
I was talking about actual consoles.
I mean, the first one that was properly mine is I had a DS Lite. And I'm not sure if I got the DS Lite first or we got a Wii first.
I mean, they're similar time, so I know for a fact my first console was a gray DS, the fat one.
The original DS, not
Yes.
the DS Lite.
Yes, that was my first one. But I have played other consoles before that, but they weren't mine.
I had a blue and black DS Lite
Oh, that sounds kind of badass.
that I then gave to my mom when I got a black one with the little. I've talked about it, the gold and silver glittery inlay of Dialga and Palkia in it.
Yeah, basically the same as my Nintendo Switch Lite. It's the opal black DS Lite.
That
my brother got
that DS Lite, by the way, I still have. It still works. The only thing that's wrong with it is the L button is broken.
Wow.
Your L button broke too?
The L button doesn't work. Yeah, and the thing is, the only reason I know that is I have a game that actually requires the L button.
Which is?
It's a Star Trek Fleet Combat game.
Ah.
But it's a Starship Combat game for Star Trek of all things. And the L button is required because that's the acquired target button, and you literally cannot beat the tutorial without it. I tried playing it a couple times and it just didn't work until I plugged it into a different device and it worked. I'm like, wait a minute, is my L button broken?
The reason I couldn't finish Mystery Dungeon on my DS Lite, I had the white one. So my parents, they were gracious enough to give me the DSi, I got the teal one. That's where I finished Mystery Dungeon.
I remember playing Mystery Dungeon and playing Mystery Dungeon without a top screen.
Oof.
Which, isn't the end of the world. And then you go to games like Pokemon Platinum. Which you cannot see a thing.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Sounds like a problem.
I've been the kind of person of like having multiple consoles to play with different games, but they're from the same family.
My brother had an Xbox. He's never had a
Xbox.
Like
Smash.
that's the only other consoles we've had in the house aside from like computers and anything Nintendo related.
I mean, my brother's got like the PS2, PS3. I don't know if he has a PS4 or PS5, but I know for a fact he's got a PS2, PS3. We got an Xbox 360 as well, laying around, a couple of Wiis. You know something funny? A few years back, this is like 2019, when my Amiibo collection started, I bought a Wii for $10.
I wish. My mom sent mine to my relatives in the old country, and then they just cut us off.
What?
My mom, she would send a lot of the quote-unquote old toys to our cousins back in Guatemala, where my family's from. And then they were just, after like certain things happened, they just kind of cut us off, and they just didn't acknowledge that we were the ones that gave them. Even though I very much still played the Wii, she gave my dad's N64 away.
Bruh.
It was a big bruh moment. I was still playing my Naruto game, damn it. I want my Wii back.
Naruto.
Yeah, I had Naruto for the Wii.
I still vividly remember playing Bakugan on the Wii. That was a fun game.
My brother had Bakugan, like the physical ones. Those are fun.
Oh, me as well. I have a shitload of Bakugans.
I remember when he got into his Beyblade collection, and because I was older, he would ask me to fix it because I was stronger than him at the time. He was Bebby. So when he was watching the show, he would call me, what was the name of the girl in the first Beyblade?
Oh my god, I do not remember.
The one that was on Cartoon Network.
I do not remember. It's been so long since I've done anything Beyblade related. Like, we're talking, I got into the Beyblade craze when it got, like, rebooted, basically.
Yeah.
God, that sends me back.
I just remember the main Beyblade at the time was Pegasus.
Yeah, that was the protagonist's Beyblade. That was the Pegasus.
Yeah, I remember that.
My first one was the Wolf. The wolf one. That was. I loved how you could combine parts and make your own
Yeah.
Frankenstein. That was so cool.
My brother really loved collecting. He collected all of our like horoscope signs, and he still has them to this day.
I remember reading about someone who showed like their Beyblade to like their grandfather, who like took one look at it and was like, it seems that at like weight in like this spot is very important, and then proceeded to like mill for like their grandchild like a custom like super heavy version of that. And like the first time I like took it to like duel someone, he just literally tore the opponent's Beyblade apart.
Holy shit! I mean, based.
Like-
Based grandpa.
Based grandpa. Supporting their child's talent, welfare stuff.
Hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Personalized, custom tooled Beyblade, so powerful it literally destroys your opponent.
I mean, that
Renders them
sometimes happens.
unusable.
That sometimes happened in the show too. Like when Beyblade just fucking destroyed others.
They just need cooler grandpas, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
what to
I
tell ya.
nearly forgot. Isn't it like canon in Beyblade lore that Moses parted the Red Sea with a Beyblade?
Yes, that is canon.
What? Hold on, what?
That's
Yeah,
the one thing I
The
know
Red
about
Sea
Beyblade.
was parted by a Beyblade.
The Bible story where Moses parts the Red Sea was done in Beyblade lore via Beyblade.
Oh right! Oh my god, yes.
Does this mean that Beyblades are in fact a gift from God? And that
Yes.
is what-
I don't know. That's the only thing I know about Beyblade. Okay? I was not into Beyblade.
I wasn't so much either. I just like trying to connect with my brother, but
I
I
was.
ass.
I
I know Bakugan was a big thing. Those were cool.
I
I
fucking
kind
love
of wanted
Bakugan.
those, but I never got into that.
I
love
never understood
Bakugan.
how to play the card games for Yu-Gi-Oh! I just like the pictures.
Yeah, same for me in the Pokemon trading card game.
I
Yeah.
tried playing Bakugan, like learning how Bakugan worked, but once you get to the ability cards, it's such a mess. Like, you know, gate card, it makes sense how it works with a gate card, but then you go to the ability cards, and some of the abilities are just absolutely like fucking stupid, and they get stupider with more time. Ugh. Most of the time, I learned Bakugan from the DS game, which fucking, oh my god, I wish there was a way to get Leonidas, like an actual toy of Leonidas.
I think
This is Sparta.
playing the Game Boy Color version of the Pokemon trading card game is what like taught me some of the mechanics for it.
I mean, I understand the trading card game for Pokemon, but I've
just never had anyone to play with.
same.
never
Also,
learned.
I don't have enough energy cards to do it. Do this stuff.
Oh,
with
I
it.
have like a whole bin of energy cards. It's wild.
Energy cards is one of the things I don't have a lot. Which, even though I have been collecting a lot of cards lately, and I've gotten a bunch of new cards, it feels so weird to have a non-yellow border.
Yeah. Then when they got rid of it,
Feels
it
so-
just kind of looks cool.
It feels so
Nostalgia.
odd. Now
Oh,
it
that-
feels more serious, with the silver border and such. But I don't know, the yellow border was
Like silver border should just be left for like limited edition cards.
yeah.
So I think I've mentioned before. My dad he's a YouTuber now.
Yes,
Yes.
you
Comic
did
book
tell
stuff.
that.
So one of the main things he does is he talks about some comic books that are in a preservation state known as slabbed, where it's some form of plastic,
Yeah.
basically slab that you put the comic book in like professionally, blah
Yeah.
blah, preserve it. Yeah. So he has like one of his like YouTube shows. He's talking about these. And one of the times one of the guests he brings on sometimes is someone who's really into Pokemon cards. And one time he brought him on to talk about like some of the stuff that he's got like that, and he just completely trolls my dad by bringing out smaller versions of those same technology that's just got like original version Pokemon cards in them.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The graded cards.
Yeah, the graded slab Pokemon cards. My dad's just stuck there because my dad can name like 2 Pokemon, one of which is Pikachu.
I'm not doing. The other one is what? Charizard?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, my mom is one of those parents that says, "Esos tus Pikachus."
My dad.
my-
Funny thing, my dad knows the entire Pikachu line.
My mother
Oh, shit.
can name like Pikachu, probably 50-50 on Gallade just because it's my profile picture, and can name Eevee.
My dad was the one that got me Pokemon Blue, like before we were born. According to my mother, my dad is the one who introduced me to the show, and my mom's just like, I don't know, the media's saying some pretty funky things about this. He said, no, it's just a cartoon show. It's just fine. And then apparently that's just been a lifelong obsession for me ever since my dad introduced me when I was
My
like
first
2.
exposure to Pokemon was when I originally got my DS Lite. Included with it, I think it was my grandparents who got it for me. Included a copy of Pokemon Diamond.
Yeah, that's how it was. But wait, no, hold on, that's not the original one. But I'm pretty sure the black one did come with a copy of one of the Gen 4 games. I don't know.
That may have been how I got Platinum.
You know, something I'm kind of... Okay, hold on. I need to rant for a moment here. One thing that pisses me off is that the Switch Lite, the Onyx Black version for the Gen 4 remakes, didn't come with the Gen 4 game in it.
What?
That was so stupid. I'm
That
like,
seems
what?
Like an obvious package.
Yes, I know, but it didn't come with it. I'm like, bruh.
Oh, that reminds me. I actually have one of the Wiis that my family has picked up. It's my grandparents each have a set of Wii, and then my house has a Wii.
I mean, the
The
Wii's
Wii-
everywhere.
The Wii that's at my house was one of the few that didn't come with Wii Sports as a pack-in.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
Well, we have a copy of Wii Sports with my grandparents. My grandparents on my mother's side, they don't live very far away. They're literally next door,
Nice.
and they had a copy of Wii Sports. But the one that my house got was one that came with the pack-in of New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Oh, Brawl.
Pretty good. You got both.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. You said New Super Mario Bros., not Super Smash Bros.
Yeah,
Oh
Super
no.
Mario.
No. We did pick up Super Smash Bros. Separately.
Brawl is so good! Oh my god, the memories with Brawl.
My main in Brawl was Snake.
A base?
Mainly because the number one person I played was my sibling, and my sibling's favorite thing was to find a spot to camp, and Snake is very good at countering camping with that rocket launcher.
Also camping, because grenades, Nikita, C4. My main in Brawl was Pikachu. Is Pikachu. I started playing Lucas, and then I moved to Pikachu, because Subspace Emissary.
I don't play
And
Smash
now-
Bros that often, so I don't know what my main is still. I think I had Brawl for the DS, 3DS.
Oh, you mean
before it got
Smash 4?
Stolen. Yeah, that. Sorry, I had Smash for the 3DS before my 3DS got stolen straight out of my backpack. And I think my
Bro.
main at the time was Toon Link.
Oh, funny. I like playing Toon Link. You know, actually, something that kind of pisses me off also from Ultimate, I do not like playing Link. I loved playing Link in both Brawl and Smash 4. He's like actually kind of a fun character. But no, they just... Breath of the Wild Link just does not make it for me. Just not do it for me.
Anyway, for something completely different, I'd mentioned to Mina while Jimmy was sorting out technical difficulties that while scrolling memes waiting for the Roomba to start, I found something from 2022 that's kind of the... Ooh,
Kitty.
yeah. Is it still copied to clipboard so I can just quickly drop it in the Roomba?
Okay.
No, it's not. Hold on. Anyway, I can't just put it, but apparently in 2022, some asshole at the United Nations or working with the United Nations or whatever, like put up like on their website an article titled "The Benefits of World Hunger."
That's kind of a dick move.
Pitchforks! Get your pitchforks!
It just works, guys.
It does not, in fact, work.
The blue helmets are the good guys, I promise. I promise. They're the good guys. Anyway, here's something. Another
So that's
thing
an adorable graduation gift. What the hell?
Yes. So my mom gave me this little statue of, the female Pikachu in a toga, the graduation cap, and everything.
Yeah.
Because every year Pokemon releases their graduation gift series, and I saw this and I'm like, oh, it's actually my school's colors too. And I mentioned it to her, and she's just like, okay, it's interesting.
Noted.
Yeah, noted. Your mom has noted it. It's
Someone
like an
said
RPG
Pokemon is
an
for the
RPG
life
message.
to me.
I think it has been for like I'm for sure know if it's for me. I don't know if Meep. What's your experience with Pokemon Meep?
What about it?
How long
I'm
have
asking
you
you.
been into it? How
Yeah.
much you liked it? What's its impact on you? Interview
Um,
questions.
well, I mean, Gallade is my little icon for both Discord and the Roomba, and has been for quite some time. Uh, I mean,
Yeah, but
yeah,
When did you first start liking it, if you remember?
when I got my DS,
oh, so you
That's
start
fair.
with the
Pokemon
games.
Diamond. Yeah,
I started with the show. I started with. Oh my god, I remember this. I don't know.
I
I think
started.
we
Okay,
I
started.
started with
Oh,
the games, and I really branched out. I watched the show a bit, but I never really got into the anime.
I need
fair.
to ask you two something. Do you guys remember Yetix?
No,
Yes, of course I remember
Oh
Jetix.
my god, I remember this. Oh my god, I'm.
I remember Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. I remember Yin Yang Yo.
Oh my god, Yin Yang Yo. No, but
Uh,
I was thinking like, okay, so back when Yetix was a thing before it became Disney XD, there was this one segment in the mornings where it would be a presenter, and they would present Pokemon Advance, like the third gen show. And I do not remember much about it, but I remember it was like there were segments talking about Pokemons, and there were like 2 or 3 episodes in that show. Like one episode, and explain about stuff, and then another one, and yada yada for like 3 episodes in a row. And I'm like, oh my god, I just got sent back like 10,
I never got to
15
watch
years.
Jetix in the morning because I was always late for school.
Oh well.
But I'm gonna see if I can find what you're talking about.
Reminder: I usually woke up at 8 a.m. in the in weekends.
8 a.m. I was late for school.
No, in
Oh,
weekends.
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 I don't remember watching it.
I've always been a really early waker. Like always. Like the reason why I always have waking up so early, apart from school, in the weekends I wanted to play World of Warcraft. And the only computer in the house that had World of Warcraft was my father's, and my father didn't wake up until like 10 a.m. So what I would do is wake up at 8, and head to the computer and play World of Warcraft. And my mom just like came at like 9 a.m., like
You got
9:30 a.m.
Bobobo on
And
Jetix?
oh my god, Bobobo! That is like the one with a big ass.
With the fro. Yes,
Yeah,
with the
and the
fro.
nose ears.
The
And
secret fist to the nose hair. Oh my god.
oh my god,
My partner and I were rewatching it like a year ago and we just never finished it. But I love Bobobo so much.
I remember watching what's it called, One Piece on there.
One Piece was a Toonami thing here.
For here was
And
Jetix
then-
because we had. I don't
I'm
remember
looking
having
at, like,
Cartoon
Hero
Network.
Jetix. Right? So you got Yu-Gi-Oh! You
Oh my
got
God.
Sonic X.
Oh my
Pretty
god!
Cure?
Yes,
love
I think
Sonic
I
X.
think I think Pretty Cure sounds familiar, but oh my god,
Pretty Cure
Sonic
is a
X.
magical go show.
Yeah, but I remember watching it. I've had
Yeah.
some interesting tastes throughout the years. I've definitely had taste in like girly things.
You had Lazy Town on Jetix?
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Uh,
Lazy Town was just a regular. What was
yes, Lazy Town was like the one with like Robbie Rotten. Rest in
No.
peace, the actor that. No
it?
wait.
Rest in peace.
Oh my god! Pokemon Planet. I just found it. Oh. It was
Can't
called
see.
Planeta Pokemon.
I think it's really funny that Jetix for India had. Oh, they had gargoyles, but no, they had.
Oh, my mom really
Detective
liked that
Conan.
show.
Which one?
Gargoyles.
I loved gargoyles as a kid. I watched it with my dad. One of my core memories that I still remember to this day is like my dad and I would watch Boomerang at about 8 o'clock when I was like 4, and we will watch The Amazing Spider-Man, the one with the Aerosmith opening.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's very good. Like, there's
You know what's like the real core memory though,
what?
is the you're sitting like doing something and then you just hear from the other room, the Dad's put on Star Wars: The Clone Wars and it's just that opening, go starts going and you just run across the house to go sit down and watch it.
They're so good.
That's the thing. I just remembered that version of Clone Wars started 2007, didn't it? That means it's just as old as Team Fortress 2.
Oh damn. Also, I sent the link. Only me and I can read it because it's in Spanish. But I found the program. Oh my god.
Who claimed to see aliens in the backyard now in lockdown after hoax claims.
America.
After hoax accusations. I'm sorry. Damn.
Actually, Jerry, just look at the little snippet of that. I can actually read a fair bit of it, but that's just because it's fairly
short.
Guesstimate. It says Planet Pokemon is a program for Spanish television presented by that guy. And something 2005 to 2009.
It aired from 2005 to 2009, which means that it was Gen 3 and Gen 4 anime.
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm still
Between
looking
the
at these
years
shows.
2005 and 2009.
That
I took 1 year of Spanish in high school,
that
then changed which language I was taking for my requirement.
which was from Spanish to
American Sign Language.
what?
That was pretty useful though.
Yeah, American Sign Language was a world language option.
Ah.
The other option that my school offered was French.
No, not French. Don't do French. Jesus.
I'm not gonna repeat the mistakes of the blade. Don't worry.
I took the French. I took 4 years of French. Can't remember most of it.
My father wants me to learn French if I want to do more school stuff. I'm like, no. Why would you do? Why
It's
must
nice
you
to
do
be
this
trilingual.
Well, the thing is, Jimmy actually has a reason to learn French because he,
It's
lives
right
in a
next to it.
country near France.
Yeah.
I think the closest French-speaking place to me is Louisiana.
Isn't New Orleans also like French?
New
Yeah, it was
Orleans
a French
is-
props.
yeah,
And
New
Louisiana
Orleans
used
is-
to be owned by France before we bought it.
A fair bit of the U.S. used to be owned by France. However, Louisiana is really the only part of that. Modern day Louisiana is really the only part of that like actually
Reflects
has
it.
French people in it. Like France, is like, oh yeah, we definitely own like half of the continent. Don't worry, guys. Definitely. Just ignore that we have like maybe 5,000 French people in America in total.
You probably have more Spanish-speaking people than French.
Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
we
have-
absolutely do.
And then I think the closest French-speaking place that isn't just a city is Quebec.
Yeah.
True, which is Canada, which is another different fucking country.
Actually,
Fair,
no,
so is
actually,
France.
Depending on how you draw the line, I think like Haiti, I think it is, might be close.
Oh, Haiti. True. French New Guinea.
That's
Ah.
definitely not close. Actually, Mina, depending on how it is, I think it's entirely possible. You might be close to Haiti, and I might be closer to Quebec.
That is true. California
Oh,
is very
ID.
It is very tall.
large. See, Carval's. I remember Puka. So glad it got a new show.
I just don't like French. I hate that fucking language.
It's the thing is, I think I brought it up like in the Friendos group chat. Do any of France's neighbors actually like France?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Do any of the European neighbors like each other? That's my question.
I mean, Italians are cool.
I think Belgium and the Dutch get along.
Oh well, that's because they used to be one country.
I think Luxembourg gets along with its neighbors. The Swiss and Liechtenstein get along with the neighbors, except, the Swiss probably don't like the French because no one likes the French.
Who likes the French? No one likes the French.
Oh,
Not even the French like the
I'm
French.
sorry, but as like a weeb from like the time I came out of the fucking uterus, I just keep thinking Italia, and oh my god.
Does Spain and Portugal get along?
I think so. Yeah. I think we
There
vibe.
we go.
Think of it like a friendly rivalry with like cousins.
All right, there we go. We have a set of European neighbors who get along. Spain and Portugal.
I think Spain and Portugal get along. I think Italy and Spain get along too.
Well, they're not neighbors, I don't think.
I mean, we share the same ocean. Sea.
Down the block.
Yeah.
Half of Europe shares that sea.
And also the north of Africa.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab a quick snack or something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have the UK, which can't even get along with itself.
True.
As it should.
But then again, the reason the UK can't get along with itself is it's all the constituent countries don't get along with England. Oh, perfect timing, Mina. Ad break just started.
Yeah, no, I'm saying ad break had just started a minute ago.
Oh, well, it just now started for me.
Whack.
So I'm gonna go refill my drink. I'm getting an ad for GTA 5. Bruh.
Dude, they keep getting worse.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What the hell is this ad for? I don't even know what the hell that is. And that's an Affleck ad, I think. Now. Yeah. Forgot about Affleck. Dumb insurance company.
I have no idea what that is.
It's an American insurance company whose mascot is a duck.
Ah. What?
It's like how you have Geico, the American insurance company, whose mascot is a gecko, except the Affleck duck doesn't talk. It
Cringe.
just says Affleck. Anyway. Now for something completely different. Is Mina back? No, Mina's not back yet.
No, it's not back yet.
Alright. Well. Anyway. Regardless, I'm gonna start setting context because it's that time of the stream.
Oh god.
He's gonna talk about certain events going on in southeastern Europe.
Ah.
Because things are happening in the land known as Ukraine.
Yep. They sure
So,
have.
As I mentioned last week, our counteroffensive has begun. The information on it is basically non-existent from what I've found.
Because of course.
So we're not going to be talking about that.
Okay.
Instead, I'm going to be talking about two things. One
Boobs.
of which is something that's going to be a long-lasting problem once this is finally done. So, 4 months ago, the Ukrainian government put out an estimate on how much of its country had been mined, as in landmines.
Ah.
I would like you, Jimmy, to try
Okay.
and guess how much.
How are we are you talking about percentage wise?
Yeah, percentage-wise.
I'm gonna say 35%.
Actually, for the 4 months ago estimate, that is slightly above the estimate of 1/3, which is 33%.
Oh damn.
A full third of their country has been mined.
Damn, I did not expect to be that close. I was like,
I was expecting you to make a much smaller guess.
no, I was thinking like it was going to be like 40%. I'm like, yeah, that's a bit too much. Let's turn it down to 35.
Keep in mind, that estimate is from 4 months ago.
Ah.
And the other thing they did in that same thing is they estimated how long it would take to fully demine the country.
Uh-huh.
4 months ago, that estimate was 70 years.
Oh, Jesus.
Keep in mind, before the war,
Yeah.
frequently Ukraine would have calls to explosive ordnance disposals to deal with ordnance they found from the World Wars.
Yeah.
Because, I think Western Europe also deals with that frequently. And
Yeah.
Britain and London deals with that frequently. As they keep finding unexploded ordnance that they have to deal with. So yeah, Ukraine's not having fun. Also, basically, entire southern front, all of the demining maps that were made by one side or the other are now useless because all the minefields got washed away because Russia blew up a dam.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing I want to talk about is that dam again because I've learned some more about it.
Oh.
So apparently, it's an old Soviet vintage dam, which have built into them certain spots where you can intentionally demolish them with explosives.
Uh-huh.
Guess where the signs point to where it got blown up from?
Not there.
No, exactly there.
Oh.
Which means that Russia's claim that it was an artillery strike by Ukraine is bullshit. The other
As
thing
per
is
usual.
the other claim that Russia was like trying to make is it was like a maintenance failure. It's like, you know what? I'd believe that Russia
But
had just not maintained it since they captured it and it just finally collapsed. That's believable knowing them. Because even if they'd like set aside money to maintain it, by the time it got down to the people down there, Ivan spent the last 20 rubies on a sandwich. Rubles on a sandwich. Because like it had taken like some damage and like they patched it by like putting like plywood over it or something. I don't know. Because Russia.
because Russia.
But no, it's like even like Russian state media also apparently can't even keep the story straight of what's gone on.
Uh-huh.
So there's that, and the reason they can't is Putin hasn't told them what they're supposed to say. And they can't think for themselves. So yeah, it's very clear that they demolished it.
Yeah.
It's like
On purpose.
It says something about Russia that the strongest alibi they could have had for not doing it is their own incompetence.
Hmm. That is kind of a move.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
question me, since you know.
Oh, and one other thing about it that makes it even dumber for them.
Yeah.
You know what Russia didn't do?
What didn't they do?
Evacuate their men from downstream.
Oh no.
They didn't evacuate their positions downstream of the dam, even after they blew it up.
Brilliant.
And then while trying to claim that this definitely wasn't them, they also and then even if you like it's probably a war crime, you could argue that there's military necessity, like how you can argue things like the US bombing campaign during World War II that flattened half of Germany. You could
Oh.
argue that's probably a war crime, but military necessity, blah blah blah. You know what's not a military necessity that Russia did?
What?
Shelling the evacuation efforts.
Oh.
Because yeah, Russia did that. Russian army try not to look like the villains challenge. Impossible.
Impossible. I have no idea what the F went through that man's mind.
I mean, he it's only supposed to last like 6 days or whatever. This is a man who wrote a book. Putin actually wrote a book claiming he could have special forces in every capital in Europe within a week. It's been a year and a half and he couldn't even take Kyiv. And that's with the help of invading via Belarus. Oh, Mina's in chat now, apparently.
Oh,
What
I
were your
guess.
favorite snacks as a kid and what has changed? Goldfish brand pretzels. The pretzel goldfish. Those are very good.
Depends on the kind of snack. Depends if it is sweet or salty snack. Probably I don't know if you have the company Lay's in America or if it's like another name. Salt and vinegar.
We have Lay's.
Salt and vinegar Lay's have always been like a favorite of mine. Also, chili flavored Doritos. Those are fucking, gorgeous, just gorgeous. And if you're talking sweet, there's like these like strawberry sweets, small strawberry sweets that I just love. And you know something that I've always done, even when I was a kid. Now I can't because inflation. Yes, even the candy got inflation. I would grab like these like straw like strips of candy that had like what's it called? Sour sugar, like sour-ish sugar. And I would put those strips and other candy in a bag and shake the bag. So the candy would mix with the other so with the sugar would mix with the other candy, giving the candy a small kick to it. I fucking love sour food. I literally ate like a slice of lemon the other day.
As you do.
Yep. I'm like thinking what else to ask about nostalgia. Have you ever gone out of the country?
Nina says in the Twitch chat, in Guatemala we have a chip company called Tortex. It's like Fritos, but it tastes less oily. It feels lighter, and I love the lemon flavor. End of quote.
Interesting lemon flavor.
Well, I mean, if you're sitting in chat and not in the Roomba, you can take your little avatar off the Roomba.
I mean, maybe she's doing something, and you know, got a moment to put a message in chat.
Regardless.
Regardless. So as I was going to ask, I've been out of the country or another continent, no joy. But have you been out of the country before, Meep?
Yes.
To where?
On 2 occasions, I have briefly, it was for vacation stuff. I briefly visited like a port city in Mexico once and once in Canada.
Okay, so you've been out of country, but not out of continent.
No, and even when I went to Mexico, it's a port thing that's like set up for the tourists, so everyone there still spoke English.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The one, I don't know if you technically kind of out of the continent, but one of the places I do want to go at some point is Hawaii. Even though that's still the United States, it is technically off the continent.
Yeah, when I mean off the continent, I mean another country in another continent. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have been no joy out of the country because we don't have that big of a country compared to you guys.
Yeah, no, Spain's like the size of Texas.
Yeah, but I've also been on a continent. I have been to America before. Like, I think 3 separate occasions. One, I went to Orlando, Miami, Florida, that area. The next one, I went to Hawaii. We made
Sorry for your loss.
Hold on.
Sorry you had to Florida.
I mean, I liked it. But the other places we went were, we went to Hawaii. And so when we went to Hawaii, we made a little pit stop in Atlanta. And we visited the Coca-Cola factory. And on the way back, I went to...
Jimmy.
Yeah?
Question, Jimmy. As a representative of Spain, do you want Florida back?
No, we're fine without it.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to ask. Florida is to the United States what the United States is to the rest of the world. That shit is insane.
So it's basically the same as the UK is to Europe.
Somewhat, yeah. Mina, as an American, please take Florida back.
No.
Maybe you will have better luck getting all the rich assholes who live there to pay taxes.
Imagine having rich assholes.
Florida is America's Australia. No, it's not. It's not like Australia, Mina. The people in
Australia's
Australia
cool,
are
though.
really cool.
I was gonna say Australia's cool though.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Australia once. Is there?
Would be an interesting place to visit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like some individual spots across the world that I'd really like to visit if I could.
Yeah.
Most of them are places with museum modes I'd like to see, but like it's one of those things. Like if I like ever went to like Japan, I would absolutely go and see the battleship Mikasa, because it's the oldest battleship in preservation.
Yeah.
And then America has like every single other one. Oh, okay, Mina. In terms of snakes coming up your toilet and large reptiles in the pool, okay, but it doesn't have the spiders.
It doesn't have the spiders. So sorry if I'm not speaking a lot. I'm trying to pass the Gran Turismo IB license, and this is a pain in the ass. Damn it!
Jimmy Gaming.
Yeah, it's just so I can, cover time instead of just, talking. Is there any place you want to go?
I mean,
Like, really want to go?
Once it's finished, I would like to visit Texas to visit the Texas once it's done with its stint in dry dock. Just because I feel like it's ever time to go see that ship, that is the time. Mina, to bed, Lamau.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, let's be right. If I were to like choose a place to go to, like just get the fuck out of the United States,
Yeah.
and just leave, evacuate, and get off a sinking
Be
ship.
gone. Be gone.
Honestly, if it weren't for the fact I'd have to learn Dutch, I'd say the Netherlands.
I mean, they speak English, should be fine.
A fair number of them do, but still, I mean, if I'm going to live in the Netherlands, I feel like I should learn Dutch. I mean, then again, if I'm actually having to use it on a semi-regular basis, I might actually be able to learn it, but...
Yeah. But when I come to Spain, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, you're there, but, like, the Netherlands has, like, that good infrastructure for, like, not having to car.
I mean, we also have a pretty good infrastructure for that.
Jimmy, the Netherlands is legendary for how good their like cycling infrastructure is. Their transport infrastructure. They're legendary for it. Then again, the Netherlands is, to be fair, like
tiny,
the size of, like Vermont. The Netherlands is not a very big country.
No, it's not. Spain is bigger.
Even by European standards.
Yeah. My sister would hate you. Because she has to deal constantly with with Dutch people. And she's kind of tired of it because she works in a bike rental service. So, Dutch people use bikes, so they rent bikes.
Yep.
And she hates having to deal with Dutch people.
Why?
Because it's not only is it constant, they have broken a lot of bikes and get really cocky with, oh, I'm Dutch, I know how to ride a bike. And it's like, still. It's like constant for her. Everything is Dutch people.
That's just tourists being tourists.
So, me, you have a driver's license, but you have a car.
I have a car.
You don't?
Well, I sort of do. It's like my parents like have like an extra car that I drive when I'm here, but when I'm at school, I don't have it because I go to school in a different state,
Yeah, fair enough.
and like to get the car there would be like a 2-day drive, at least.
And we're not here to have 2-day drives.
Is there anywhere in Spain you can like actually like just do a full hard 2-day drive without leaving Spain?
I don't think so.
Spain's not big enough for that.
Like
yet.
from where I live to where my grandparents live, it's like a 5-hour trip.
I think that's like the driving distance between where I am and where Mina is.
Yikes. That is a yikes.
But yeah, to be fair, the city that my university is in, as far as American cities go, is pretty good for bike infrastructure.
I mean, surprised. Surprised. I really shouldn't. That America has such shit infrastructure. Like, it's so convenient.
Well, there's like 3 reasons that American infrastructure is shit. One reason is it's all car dependent because General Motors.
Yes.
And the auto lobby in general.
Yes. I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah. 2, it was particularly successful in America, in part because American culture is very, very individual focused.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
the third thing is American suburbia.
Right.
American suburbia just absolutely bleeds money. It is effectively a Ponzi scheme. It loses money, which means there's not enough money to actually maintain the infrastructure it requires.
Yeah.
Which means the infrastructure we do have, which is the car-dependent infrastructure, is also shit. Like, particularly parts of California are infamous for having really shitty quality roads. It's like the joke is the situation in America comparable to the fall of Rome? No, Rome had good roads.
I mean, yeah, they did.
That's the joke.
I mean, yeah, Rome did have good roads.
Yeah. In America, you got the interstates, which are maintained well, because the interstates are maintained on the federal dollar. The federal government pays for that, and the federal government's tax just has infinite money, apparently. And occasionally, they're nice enough to spend some on something other than the military.
Because America. I don't fucking.
Oh, Mina, Rome also had abortion, but oh no. The thing is, Mina, to just put in perspective how bad some of the stuff is in the United States for like women's rights and stuff, is some of the policies that haven't been implemented or are trying to be implemented. You know who's more lenient on like women's rights for some of these issues? The Taliban.
The what?
The Taliban.
Yikes.
On some issues in the United States, the Taliban have better women's rights.
That's a yikes.
Like, oh my god. And that's all I'm gonna say on that matter, because I don't want to get into it.
Thank you.
But let's just say, being an American sometimes is depressing.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Like, actually, no, hold on. Here's something. I think I definitely shared it in Mina's server. I don't know if I shared it with you, Jimmy.
I don't know.
Someone in the Republican leadership, the American Conservative Party's leadership,
Yeah.
has decided that in the next Congress session, that one of the things they need to focus on as a priority is the banning of universal free school lunch.
Why?
Because apparently, We need to protect the children from food. Keep in mind, Jimmy, this is the same party that got pizza legally declared a vegetable.
Huh?
Yeah, in the United States, legally pizza is a vegetable.
So if you're vegan, you can eat pizza.
Well, the reason they did it, Jimmy, was so that they could save money on feeding the children. Because imagine having to feed the children like good food. Also, like in parts of the United States, the school meals, even the ones that are there, are just terrible. Like literally worse than prison food. And this is American prison food we're talking about.
That is.
Where it's like, I have heard horror stories of people who like the school meals they're provided. If they're lucky,
It's
only
decent.
One of their if they're lucky, only one of their carrots has mold on it.
Oh my god.
I luckily didn't have to deal with that because I'm from an area where the schools had enough money where that wasn't an issue.
That's
That's another thing is
Welcome back.
The school funding is heavily based on the affluence of the region because it's mainly paid for by property taxes, which means even though separate but equal schools is illegal under Brown versus the Board of Education, or no, that's not that right. One of the Supreme Court cases that said separate but equal segregated schools is illegal. Functionally, because of how the demographics are, not only are they still informally kind of still segregated, more or less, but guess which ones are pretty universally lower quality because they don't have as much funding?
Southern states?
No, just my schools primarily attended by minorities because the thing is in the United States, it's not that the conservatives hate minorities. They hate poor people. And poor people just so happen to disproportionately be people of color.
Yikes.
I can confirm, by the way, that the food in schools suck. So when I was in high school, I was in band, right?
Yeah.
And we had to raise our own money because the school never give a shit about band.
Uh-huh.
And
So sometimes, in order to raise enough money to we can get our instruments fixed and maintained, we would have to work in the cafeteria so that the school would technically, quote unquote, pay us, pay the band teacher, that we could get that stuff done. The pizza that we would put together was stiffer than cardboard. I could pick up the crust and bang it across the table and it wouldn't crumble or anything. It's just solid fucking brick.
Oh my god.
And they just put that in the oven and hope for the best.
I was very lucky in the fact that my school actually had fairly decent food, but it still wasn't great. The fact is, like, the other thing that makes it even dumber, though, about the fact that they're like, oh yeah, we need to save money or something by banning universal school lunch because the program that gives universal school lunch, even if children aren't qualified, they'd get the free lunch. Like, aren't you the same party that's like, we need to protect the kids, we need to protect the children, and that's why we need to ban gay rights, we need to protect the children? It's like, wouldn't you be the ones like, yes.
They want us to have the kids, they just don't want to help, keep them alive.
Yeah. It's the other thing though with it is it's like the joke about it is like it's not that it's not we're protecting the children from food. It's we're protecting from the liberals who want to give them food.
Make them gay.
Why is that a bad thing?
Because giving them food is like communism or something. I don't know. Keep in mind, this is the party whose color is red. Bring back the better dead than red chant, please.
What?
That was the thing. The U.S. in its anti-communism was like, oh yeah, better dead than red. Meanwhile, the Conservative Party's color nowadays is red. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see, like, someone like at some protest against something they're doing start the better dead than red chant. I want to see that.
Oh my god. You people.
Like how I want to see someone try and get one of these Republican states who's instituted book bans, get them to ban 1984.
What? Why ban a year?
No, the book 1984 by George Orwell.
Oh, okay.
The literally 1984 meme, that one. Because they've already gotten the biggest school district in Utah to ban the Bible.
Ban the
Moses and all the
Ban the Bible.
Yeah, they got the Bible to be banned for being under the definition of the law they put that the Republicans passed, pornographic, legally.
Huh? How?
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Let's just say American politics recently have gotten very weird. They've decided they need to protect the children. The Republicans decided they need to protect the children, so they've started trying to implement stricter, like basically ban books from school libraries for being inappropriate for children, and by inappropriate for children they mean anything, basically gay rights or talking about minorities, but it's for being quote unquote inappropriate for them. And then in protest to this, someone asked them to, under the same law, to review for banning the Bible for including a bunch of stuff that under the definition is not allowed for being quote unquote pornographic. And the reviewer's like, yep, under the rules it is.
At least they're willing to withhold the same rules for everybody, and that's all I can ask for at this point, which is beneath the barrel at this point.
And it's like the bare minimum, apply the law equal. And the thing is, they barely even did it equally because they didn't even ban it from high schools. It was just elementary and middle schools.
Yeah, high school, they're already old enough.
They did the bare minimum.
Yep.
And then apparently someone's already gone in and said, all right, ban the Bible, now ban the Book of Mormon.
The what?
The Book of Mormon.
Oh, that's gonna make
The Book of Mormon is basically the version of the Bible that the Mormons use, and Utah is basically just Mormon land.
Ah.
the
The Mormon land.
Yeah.
Utah, she has confirmed that Utah does have, or the Big Short Church of Mormon, fucking has a big like seagull statue. I don't know what the deal is with that. I might have read about it.
Mina, what happened to your microphone? Your mic quality's gone weird.
Phone in.
Okay,
I've been using mobile because I just finished my food and I'm getting some juice.
fair enough.
Juice.
Yeah, it's basically the to a fairly significant extent, the American conservatives have basically doubled down on the religious conservative part of their voter base, which is why they're being really heavy against gay rights and abortion. And stuff
Which
like
is
that.
going to bite them in the ass.
Well, no, it's not, because they've just gerrymandered every possible district, so they don't even need to have worried about the elections.
Ah.
Though apparently, actually, the Supreme Court actually told, I think it was Alabama, you have to redraw your districts because it was so bad. Because they'd managed to gerrymander Alabama so bad that despite having a Alabama actually has a pretty sizable Democrat voting population, because who would have be surprised the party made primarily out of old white men isn't very popular among African Americans. So Alabama had been gerrymandered so bad that despite having a fairly sizable African American population to this day, exactly one region voted blue.
Yikes.
And they were basically, yeah, no, that's not allowed. Voting Rights Act. I mean, it's not like the Democrats don't gerrymander as well, but both sides
It's
do.
not that bad.
It's one, slightly less egregious, and two, it's not specifically to disenfranchise minorities,
Uh-huh.
unless you count Republicans as minorities, which technically I suppose they are in like California, but It's not like California doesn't have like Republican represent. I'm pretty sure California even has like Republican, like multiple Republican House members in the House of Representatives.
Huh.
Because fairly large portions of California do vote Republican.
Also, Orange Man has been what's it called?
Yeah, Orange Man has officially been charged with crimes, like actual proper crimes in the court of criminal law.
Fuck yeah! Finally, Jesus.
And he's claiming it's all politically motivated.
Of course he is.
I mean, obviously he is, but also,
There we go.
I'm pretty sure one of the laws he is accused of violating is one he signed into law.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Rules
Not-
for thee, not for me. I think one of the reports
Also,
we just
it's
had-
just the hilarity of all the things Donald Trump has been indicted for. It's taking his work home with him. What a nerd!
A nerd.
What was I gonna say about Orange Man? There was like something in specific I was gonna say, and I completely lost it.
I mean, the joke
for
was
war.
he had to like go to New York for this, while New York was role playing Venus because the Canadian wildfires. He could just walk down the street and turn invisible because it's so orange.
I don't
He
know
really
why
could skip
Trump has been like dubbed Orange Man.
Look
Because
at
he
him.
looks orange because of the dumb makeup he totally doesn't wear.
When Trump was in office, I would get jump scared by like pictures of this one certain caterpillar that just looks like his hair, and I hated it, and I did not want to go on the internet for a while. I have this like massive fear of caterpillars, so every time I see it, I fucking yeet the phone. Partner, I throw that motherfucker across the room.
Oh wow.
Like
What?
caterpillars.
Why caterpillars exactly?
I don't like the way they move. It's just thinking about it makes me like pull up my feet and just.
I mean, fair enough. I've never had like a big fear of like bugs. Like not even like the usual bug that people like ew of cockroach.
Spiders.
I mean
Spiders
spiders.
are just an inch away from a
Arachnophobia
spider.
is quite common.
I'm used to like tiny spiders, tiny baby spooder.
Tiny spiders, I don't care. It's like tarantulas that are the ones that like eat.
Tarantulas
mean-
actually can't kill a person. Their fangs are still too delicate.
Yeah.
But they
still.
can give you a nasty like nose itch. So what tarantulas will do when they're defending themselves is they'll rub their legs against their body, right? And the
Yeah.
hairs will come off, and it's it's like a defensive move.
The
And
what
they'll just
again?
have, like a bald ass.
So, some of them have the
hair.
ability to actually like, I think it's technically considered quills like on their abdomen. They can yeet.
Yeah.
They have a ranged attack.
They have ranged attack.
Very few
Tarantulas have
animals
ranged
actually have
attack.
ranged attacks.
They
Shout
Yeah.
out
have.
to
very
the
rare.
horned lizard.
It's one of the reasons humans' ability to throw shit is so useful. I mean, because humans can throw shit.
In
mean-
South America, right? In South and Central America, we have a bunch of those motherfuckers that have ranged attacks. Why do you think Hispanic mothers are so good at yeeting shit?
Why do you think both Spaniards and Southern American people fear the chancla? The mothers have extra range.
The fact is, other great apes can throw things. It was like the underhanded kind of toss.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, American football players yeet. Humans. I don't know why I'm saying American. Humans can throw things much further and much more accurately than any other species
Okay.
because it was evolutionary advantage to be able to yeet pointy sticks. And then we invented ways to yeet pointy sticks even harder and even faster, and even farther.
Cold gun.
Now we don't even yeet them. Now we just.
Now we don't eat them really, but yeah. The first ranged weapon humans invented other than just throw the pointy stick was the atlatl, which you like never hear about. It's always, oh yeah, the bow and arrow. No, you had the atlatl. No one ever talks about it.
Sounds weird. The atlatl?
Yes, it was a device that you basically held in your hand. It's basically what's to the you know those
Like a
like
pre-slingshot, isn't it?
Basically like a
no,
javelin.
it's no. It's I think it may have actually been around the same time as early slingshots, but it was for spears, so it was much more useful. It was basically I think it was usually carved from like bone or wood. It's something you'd hold in your hand, and then you put like a spear. It's kind of like those things to yeet like tennis balls for dogs to play fetch with
Oh,
them.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was basically like that sort of, except a different shape and for spears.
Okay.
Nice.
And like if you used it and you were good with it, you could basically throw a spear twice as far.
Oh.
I want one of those, but for Champions.
And then it just like fell out of use once the bow and arrow was made. So it's like even like when the javelin came around, you like never comboed it with the javelin.
I want to see it comboed with a javelin. Holy shit.
I mean, nowadays the javelin is a shoulder-fired rocket launcher, but
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the jokes
just for
early
science,
in
I
the
wanna
Ukraine
see what
conflict is just a picture of a bunch of Ukrainians with those launchers, and it's just the Ukrainian Olympic javelin team.
Let's see. What else can we talk about today?
So I was while we were talking about stuff, I was doing the Gran Turismo for the International B license test, and I just got a 2022 Nike One car, and I'm like, remember when like people had remember I don't know if people do. Maybe I'm the only like gearhead here about cars, but there were like the early 2000s was wild with concept cars. We had some wild stuff.
There was a lot of car games in that era. I remember, like, even Cartoon Network got in on the car games.
I mean, I'm playing Gran Turismo 4 currently, so yeah. But like also, you know Le Mans?
Yeah. Didn't NASCAR submit something to the Le Mans?
There was a NASCAR car that was sent to Le Mans this year, and Ferrari won this year. So in the 90s, after Group C LMP prototype cars were more discouraged, the FIA, which is I think it's the oh my god, I don't remember. The FIA created a group called GT1, which is more homologated cars, and Porsche had the brilliant idea of making a race car and making a road car variant of that race car. And Mercedes followed suit, and Nissan followed suit. I need to show you guys 3 cars, and I need you to tell me if these cars don't look like absolutely bonkers.
You're gonna put it in images, yeah?
Yeah. So this is one of them. So this is like
You guys remember the fucking polyhedral car that Elon Musk came out with?
the Cybertruck.
Whatever the fuck. Pre-render.
Yeah,
Who
the
cares?
Cybertruck.
Who cares? It's Elon Musk. Who fucking cares?
Elon Musk who fucking cares. He's the man behind Twitter now. Which
The
is
only good thing that man's done is destroy Twitter.
He also gave us some pretty good memes when everyone was making fun of him for being Wario in fucking Saturday Night Live.
funny
That is
man.
the most I will ever defend him. Fucking weirdo, role-playing your own kid online.
Oh right, he's doing. Fuck. I forgot.
He's done that, yeah.
God, he's so cringe.
He is. He is very much cringe.
He's the r/I am very smart people, but with money.
What? I am?
No, r/I am very smart. It's like a whole Reddit thing.
Okay, I'm going to look it up in my phone.
That's if it's not shut down for the Reddit stuff.
Oh right, because I nearly forgot. Reddit's imploding, isn't it?
Yeah, Nis.
So as a response, Reddit's CEOs are actually saying, yeah, we're gonna give you guys things so that you can vote out mods now, assuming people want to vote out the mods who've shut down the Reddits. And they're like, we're gonna make it a more democratic Reddit. And it's just like, people have been asking me that for fucking years, and you're only doing it now because they're actually
Because
sick
the
of your
mods have
shit.
done something you don't like.
And also, they're not getting paid to do this anyways.
And also, did you apparently currently the front page of Reddit is full of like photoshops of John Oliver?
As they should. I feel like he mentioned something in some recent episode.
I don't know. I haven't seen
Or
any.
maybe he's building it. I haven't either, but I also feel like it's probably maybe building up to a new episode. You know what I mean?
He's probably gonna have to mention it in some episode too. But
It's
like,
gonna be tonight,
apparently
right?
it's I don't know. I just watch whenever they post stuff on YouTube, and they haven't posted stuff on YouTube recently.
There might be another break. I usually do the same thing too. I don't watch it because I don't have cable here on the apartment.
I just don't watch television.
That
Same.
too.
But like the
King DDD.
Reddit was like they did an API change that would like force people to have to pay money to use the API or something, and basically all the third-party devs like this will basically destroy every third-party product on the site.
Yikes.
That, you know, the mods used to like moderate Reddit, and people use to view Reddit because their UI is shit, and blah blah blah.
And
The
I
Reddit
heard
CEOs
also,
like lol don't care, and
I
then
heard this is also like shitty for people who use third-party apps for accessibility reasons.
yeah. That's the other thing too with that, and so in protest, Reddit's basically just the Reddit CEOs basically decided to go to war with one of the largest communities on the internet. The only thing that could be stupider is if he specifically went to war with the furries.
Oh no, the furries
Oh
will fuck them up.
no.
But
Yeah.
also, I wouldn't doubt the powers of a neckbeard with a katana.
No, the reason the furries would be worse is like a third of the people who run the back end of the internet are furries, if not more.
Yes, we're
The entire-
powerful.
So it's entirely possible if he upset the furries. It's entirely possible they could just take down Reddit.
Especially because most of them work in IT.
Yeah, they like statistically speaking, if you walk into like any group of IT professionals, half of them at least are going to be furries. Which, you know, given how much IT professionals get paid, kind of explains how they can afford fursuits.
Dude, my friend got scammed. They wanted some NSFW work from an artist. I'm gonna
Kinky.
name this artist because fuck them, right?
They scam them, they get to be name dropped.
Yeah, they scammed. They scammed them out of $360. Let's see. This artist is named. Their
God.
@ on Twitter is official_Redaq. Redac? Something like that. I don't give a shit.
Doesn't ring a bell.
But they're a shit person. Because they will, not only have they traced during some, like, commissions. Like, if you trace for, like, sketch practice, I don't mind, because you're just practicing poses. But if you're tracing something that you're giving to someone else, then you're kind of shitty for that, right?
Kind of
But
cringe.
also, they will spend months, quote unquote, working on a commission, and people will pay a lot of money for that, and then they'll have the gall to ask for more money from the people that paid them already. Being an artist is so fucking hard when you're trying to do commission work, just because, like, neither you nor the people who are commissioning you know for sure that you guys are going to get what you asked for. So, like, if me as an artist, I'm worried that maybe I won't get paid, right?
Yeah.
And then the person who is drawing, now that they've paid, I'm asking for payment first. They're worried that I'm not going to draw for them.
Which
But if
makes sense.
Yeah. So I figured, like, I saw like a lot of people mention that, like, they'll do like a mock-up sketch of what it is that they want, and once they like approve the design, they'll pay half, and then once you finish the commission with all of the doodads that they want on it, then you get paid the rest of the money. But not every artist knows that, and it's kind of frustrating watching people on both ends get scammed.
I'm
Why
very
we
much
can't have nice things.
yeah. I'm very much broke, so I can't really afford shit like that. Oh, when you said $300 for a piece of art, I'm like, bruh.
Especially because this person was complaining that they can't pay their bills, that they needed stuff for their cat, that they
Oh, okay.
they're
So speaking of like stuff like that, the other day I got DM'd by someone asking, if I wanted the commission. I said no because A, that's probably a scam, and B, I'm so broke I wouldn't even be able to pay them, even if it's a scam. But even then, I was like, nah,
yeah,
fam.
Harpy's been getting quite a bit of that too, where people will show up in the Twitch chat and say, "Hey, I can help you fix your Twitch stream to be a lot nicer." It's
I
just like I know I did
honestly,
the same to Jimmy. I'm like, "Hey, do you want to use my UI?" But I'm not asking you to pay me. I just thought it'd be nice to give it to you since you were my friend, or we were
because
starting to be friends at the time.
you are the sweetest person. You are one of the sweetest persons I've talked to from Twitch. I'm just going to say that. You've always no. I'm not going to. Shush. I'm going to compliment you, and you're going to accept it.
Hold on, I'm gonna put a reaction gif in there.
If I felt I had disposable income, I would definitely commission you for something.
Oh, thank you.
Probably same.
But I'm a college student who's a full-time college student. I don't exactly have copious
Disposable
amounts of
income.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to pay off my interest for my student loan today.
Oof.
I've
I,
never
I,
had that problem.
yeah, Jimmy. That's mainly an American problem. But I'm very lucky in the fact that my parents started planning well in advance and started setting aside enough fund for my college, and had good enough paying jobs that so long as I graduate in 4 years and keep my scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't need to actually go into debt to finish my education.
So something that I've always thought, like, saving money for that stuff, that actually I think that would work everywhere, not just like, America. Like I'm thinking of things like, yeah, okay, that would work. That, should be a thing that parents should do to their children. Especially if, like, books and maybe the computer and such for college and whatnot. That should be a thing.
I'll be honest, like half the money that's being spent on my university is room and board.
What
Yeah.
now?
Staying at the campus with
Ah.
like food, the dorms.
I mean,
That's
fair
what
enough.
half my tuition. So, at my college, one semester is about $41,000,
Oh, Jesus Christ, what?
or not one semester, 1 year. 1 year is $41,000, and that is not including dorms and food.
Yeah, the American
That is
college is
minimum.
fucking expensive, Jimmy. There's a reason people go into debt for this.
41?
$41,000 a year. Yep.
Oh my god, I paid like 60
Oh.
euros for my 2 years.
Yep.
Well, you have like European education stuff. Also, a question: was yours a California State University as well?
Yes. No, mine's not a Cal State. Mine was a private.
Oh, it's a private. That's probably part of it then.
Part of it is also that, but I also had
Even
a bunch of
state
I had a
universities.
bunch of scholarships. But here in California, we have this thing called the Cal Grant, which is they give you money, and the Pell Grant, which is just money that the state gives you for going to school.
Yeah.
They didn't qualify me because I was listed as a dependent under my parents, and I didn't qualify for the first 2 years. When I started listing in my third year, I signed up for Cal Grant. They didn't send in my paperwork. So when I did it again for my senior year, they finally gave it to me because I had to resend in the papers, and they actually sent it this time, and I got money for the first semester. But because I was a transfer student from my community college, and I was already ahead some credits, I only had one class I needed to take, which is for finishing my film on my last semester. And because I was a full-time student, or less than half-time at that point, they
Yeah.
just cut off my funding.
Oh,
Bruh.
Jesus. So we do have something similar-ish. Like the schools will give you money for doing stuff like that, or something similar. It's called a beca, which is like, okay, we'll give you money if you attend and you pass the school year. If you don't,
Yeah.
we will want that money back because we believe in you to pass the school year.
Far too positive for an American institution, though.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, I would like to point out there was a U.S. politician. Yes, he was a conservative politician who whose reasoning for why Biden shouldn't be able to cancel student debt was because it was a recruiting tool for the U.S. military.
And it's just like people shouldn't have to sell their lives to try and make their and their loved ones' lives better.
Yeah.
Because
You know?
literally, Jimmy, one of the ways, if you're poor and you want to go to university in the United States, you join the military.
And the military pays for everything, but you also sell your soul. I'll put it this way. When I got accepted into university, I wasn't expecting to get accepted, so we didn't have that much money saved. I was in community college, and I sent in my application, didn't think that my portfolio was good enough to get in, but I wanted to try anyways.
Hmm.
And I got in. It was super exciting. I was on the phone with my friend Carl. It was great. And
then you're like, oh shit, I need to pay for this.
then in July, they told me the expenses. And I spent my first year in a dorm. At least a year and a quarter of in the dorm. Because that was the same year COVID hit.
Oh no!
Dude, I have a whole story that I will sidetrack for that. I don't mind opening up about it because I'm okay now. But, you know. So when I got into school, they required payment the first day of classes. Or you could enter a payment plan with an added $100 deposit. So we took out a student loan with Discover, and we took out $20,000 because that's what was required of me at the time.
Okay.
I chose in-school repayment, which means that I'll pay the interest while I'm in school,
Okay.
and I would pay the principal throughout the next 10 years. Do you want to know how much money I've paid since starting these loan repayments?
30,000.
I've paid $7,056.98. Do you want to know how much of that actually went into the principal?
Nothing.
$268.73.
How do you
I paid
know
six-
this?
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh. Okay, fair enough.
I've paid $6,000 in interest, and I'm still just $200 shy of the original loan I took out.
That is. Oh my god.
And in October, they're going to resume the government loan repayments,
Okay.
which means I have to worry about those too.
Oh my god.
There's a reason student debt is a big problem in the United States, Jimmy.
Yeah, it seems like it. My god.
Yeah. So people were like so excited to like have their government debts, at least those forgiven, right? Because if with my government loans altogether, I owe $47,000.
Mm-hmm.
If the government could knock out like another 20,000 from that, I could probably be done in those 10 years. That would definitely set me back to 10 years. I'd probably still be staying with my parents, but it would give me like that raft to like be able to afford a house later, or at least a nice cozy apartment.
You know what makes the fact that the opposition to forgiving the loans is so strong even dumber? Is the big opposition is, oh, but who's gonna pay for this? Who's gonna pay?
You!
No, you know what makes it even dumber, Jimmy?
Yeah?
It costs the government more to maintain the debt than they bring in. The government
Too many people
loses
are-
money on the student debt. So forgiving the debt would save the government money.
That is.
Forgiving the debt would pay for itself. I mean, it wouldn't just pay for itself. It would be net positive for the government's budget. And keep in mind, the people opposing removing the debt are the people who are supposedly the ones super concerned about the government's debt.
But no, they don't. There's too many people here in the United States that are so set in the individual mindset where they're just like, I don't want my taxes to go into paying your debt. And it's just like, what the fuck do you think you're paying taxes for? Taxes are for the net society. And if at this point the debt is killing society, we should use that to fix it.
No. The thing is, when a lot of this, the other thing is, for basically my entire life, a significant portion of tax dollars are being spent to turn children into skeletons in the Middle East.
That too.
Which
And
is.
now we're not doing
Now
that
we're
as much.
now we're proposing to actually spend it on America, and it's like, huge objections because it's going to like the people and not the corporate backers of the Republican Party or something.
Hold on, no, wait, me. They're going to the people. Communism.
Yeah, basically.
I'm sorry. I just saw that, and I just saw that comparison. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the fact is, Jimmy, the United States, among quote-unquote first world countries, has
Yeah.
one of the, if not the lowest tax rate. However, it also has the highest percentage of the citizenry who feels they are overtaxed. Mainly because in like Europe, yeah, you have pretty high taxes, but you get things like universal government health care and high quality infrastructure and
Public
stuff like that.
transport and other stuff. Well,
Public
then,
transport and in many cases publicly funded university. In America, you get third world quality roads and the world's largest military by several orders of magnitude.
It costs several $100s just to have a baby instead of actually taking care of the baby.
The United States Navy is the world's second largest air force behind the U.S. Air Force. The aircraft carrier count of the United States Navy for just quote-unquote proper carriers is just under half of the world's total. However, most global aircraft carriers are like half of the capabilities of a U.S. fleet carrier, super carrier.
mm-hmm.
And then the U.S. then has another like 20 quote-unquote amphibious assault ships, which are basically just light aircraft carriers.
Okay.
You mentioned the Navy so much that I'm now getting Navy ads.
Oh my god.
But like freaking meanwhile, the big bad boogeyman of that's the reason the U.S. needs to maintain freaking the super large military is
China.
like, yes, it was Russia for a long time. It's like, yeah, they have an aircraft carrier from the
And
1950s.
Aircraft carrier in
And
singular.
an aircraft carrier from the 1950s that most of the time, anytime it leaves port, needs to be towed back. The Chinese made a bootleg copy of that ship, and it's better. Okay, that's all you need to know about it.
I mean, I didn't say Russia. I said China.
China has 2 aircraft carriers.
Yeah.
One of which has been spotted in satellite photos of it in dry dock having cracks in its flight deck.
I watch a YouTuber, his name is Crimson Rogue. He reads and reviews books, right? She was reviewing Empress Teresa, which is a whole shitstorm. I recommend watching it. And he mentioned that if given the opportunity, the United States would bomb their enemies into a parking lot, and then we would meme on them for weeks. And that is exactly what it's like to live in America.
No. The Americans would bomb them into a parking lot and then build a Walmart there.
And then we would meme on them for weeks.
No, we'd meme on them for more than weeks.
True.
Let's be real. If given the opportunity and like no risk of reprisal, the United States would level Moscow and build a Walmart there.
Just a Walmart, nothing else.
The world's loneliest Walmart.
The world's
No,
largest Walmart.
Just the entirety of Moscow is a Walmart.
Yes.
That'd be
Imagine Walmart sanctioned apartments.
Yes.
God, they have a whole city town, or what was it, company town out there.
I'm putting that in the quote of the day in your server meeting. The entirety of Moscow is a Walmart.
And they say it's the largest Walmart in the world, so.
Could you imagine a Moscow-sized Walmart?
Moscow is a pretty large city, so that'd be a very large Walmart.
Very,
You
very
need a
large.
fucking car inside of the Walmart.
That is the peak Walmart.
Mega,
get
mega.
No, you park in the giant parking lot, you walk inside, where they give you a golf cart to drive around.
Ah, buying golf carts.
I was
Yes.
just imagining like a drive-through Walmart where people physically drive inside of the Walmart. Not even parking lot. They just drive in.
That
No,
would be-
because they do that because the Walmart's the size of Rhode Island.
Walmart.
It's a Walmart the size of Rhode Island.
God.
It's not a Walmart gun counter. It's a Walmart gun
No.
department store. They've got a whole department that's just guns, and because it's in Moscow, it's nothing but AK pattern rifles.
Walmart outlet. The Sam's Club of Moscow.
No, it's a Walmart so big they have a Sam's Club inside of it.
Jesus.
Oh, I
Christ.
just realized something. You know how some Walmarts have like a McDonald's inside of them?
Mine used to have a McDonald's. They're switching it out for Charlie's.
I have no idea what that is. But like,
It's the
imagine
same-
how big will the McDonald's be inside of the Moscow-sized Walmart?
I feel like that's just a mall at that point. It just has like a food court.
It's
More
a
than-
food court. You've got a McDonald's, you've got a Burger King, you've got a Subway, you've got another McDonald's.
Maybe a Panda Express if we're feeling fancy.
Where's Panda Express?
Panda
It's
Express
Fast food Chinese
what
food.
is what Americans think Chinese food is.
Ah.
Pretty good though.
It
As long
it
as
is
you don't
pretty
get
good.
like the bad shit. One time I got like the orange chicken and I just bit into like a nugget of chicken. It was just chicken fat.
Oh,
It was the worst feeling in the world.
That sounds horrible.
Yup.
usually it's pretty good. Panda Express, if you're being generous, can be described as Chinese-inspired American food.
Yep.
There's rice, there's chicken, there's
The
other
rice
things.
is usually hard as shit.
Yeah, it tends to be not very good. It's like how Taco Bell is Mexican-inspired,
Yeah.
and that's being generous.
We got Taco Bell yesterday, right? And because like Taco Bell is wild. They have like the Doritos Locos Tacos, and it's just Dorito flavored taco shell.
Ooh, that sounds tasty. So we have
It's pretty good.
in Spain. We have at least from in my area, we have like a burger joint called the Good Burger. Oh my god.
Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Make it take your order.
The burger's there.
Yeah,
Like there's one burger that I always order called the 50 Shades.
of Greg.
And just the 50 Shades.
That's where I went to.
Just 50 Shades. It is probably inspired by that. It has, hear me out, onion rings,
Okay.
pulled
Sounds
pork,
Okay.
a patty,
Mhm.
Okay.
barbecue sauce,
Mhm.
and it comes in a brioche bun.
Okay.
It sounds like the stuff we have at Red Robin.
That is,
I love Red Robin.
that is,
The thing is, Jimmy, that you have to keep in mind is not only does America have a shit ton of fast food, the versions of American restaurants that are in like Europe serve completely different food because they're not allowed to put in half the shit they put in the American version because it's not
I
healthy.
heard-
also,
Which country was had lobster in the McDonald's?
I don't know.
but here's the thing,
Like-
onion rings are like the big, what are you thinking when you think onion rings?
I'm thinking slices of onion that have been deep grilled.
But
fried.
how big do you
Right, thank you.
see them? Like, how big do you think they are?
I can usually put my wrist through them.
Okay, no.
It depends.
We're
the
not.
ones I'm thinking of come in like a stack where it's like you got the really big ones at the bottom. That's like you put like your thumbs together and you like your first fingers together, and it's like that big at the bottom to all the way at the top where it's like you put your thumb and your pinky together, and it's like that whole, that size.
So these onion rings are tiny. Like you cannot
They're
put your.
tiny?
Yeah, they're tiny onion rings, and it's like it gives off a crunchy part of it. And oh my god! And it's like this burger is like thick. Like
I'd still be willing to try.
THICCC with 3 C's thick, and it's
Damn.
big enough to fill me up, like feeling like, oh my god, I'm going to burst. And I'm a pretty big person. I eat a lot. Like I can eat a lot of food. I weigh like 105 kilograms.
It's enough to satisfy the average American for about 5 minutes. Got it.
Yeah, probably.
For reference, Jimmy, we have a burger joint down the street. Do you want to know what it's called?
Go ahead.
Fat Burger.
Fat burger.
Oh wait, Mina, are you familiar with that place in Vegas called the Heart Attack Grill?
Yes, I'm familiar with it. Literally, I think if you're over 300 pounds, you get in free.
Something like that, yeah.
You
Bruh.
get a free meal.
Jimmy, there's a burger joint in Las Vegas called the Heart Attack Grill.
Okay. 300 pounds is how much
That's
weight
as
in
awful as
kilos?
it sounds like. What was that, Jimmy?
300 pounds in kilos is how much?
300 pounds in kilos.
Google pounds to kilos converter.
I'm going.
I'm sorry. It's just
Oh
like
my God, when I-
136 kilograms.
okay. So
when I
can you check
I typed in
110?
300 pounds too. When I put 300 pounds too, the first autofill was dollars because the British pound.
So can you put up
Fair.
110 kilos? You know, the pounds to kilo converter. Converter.
110 kilos.
That's 242 pounds.
That's approximately how much I weigh.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Jimmy, that's like double my weight.
Yep.
Meep, aren't you a stick though?
Yeah, to be fair, I am a stick figure. I am a stick figure. I'm weird. I'm an American who doesn't weigh very much.
So is my roommate.
Because like, if we're being honest, Jimmy, the fat American stereotype, yeah, America has like an obesity problem, but it's actually not that many Americans are actually like super overweight.
It's
Yeah.
not an obesity problem in America so much. It's a eating disorder problem, I think.
Yeah, which causes
'Cause
obesity. But the
We have obesity and anorexia.
You have the complete
raw
what's it
diabetes.
called? The complete extremes.
We
It's
do everything to the extremes here.
I mean, yeah, fair.
It used to be much worse, trust me. The thing also with actually here's something I've seen brought up that no one likes to talk about in America is, you know how there's lots of stuff in from the left in America. It's like, yeah, we should establish universal health care.
Yeah.
The thing is, you know what you never see them actually talking about?
Fat people.
No, how the fuck they're actually gonna do it.
Ah.
They're like, yeah, we should establish universal health care. We should do it. It'll be great. We do it. How are you gonna do it? It's gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be great. We're gonna love it.
How
They
are you
never
gonna?
talk about how to do it.
They're going to try and copy Europe. That's the only thing that would make sense.
In theory, but the question is, Jimmy, who in Europe do they copy?
Ah. I mean, probably. Oh God, who?
Because knowing the United States, they're gonna copy England.
Which is bad.
Which is a bad
They don't
idea.
even have dental.
England, the British, the English NHS, an example of how not to do it.
Yeah. Spain is a
mainly-
good example.
Mainly because, from my understanding, the NHS basically got gutted by Margaret Thatcher and it never recovered.
Ding
The-
dong, the
the
witch
only-
is dead.
The only good thing that you can say about the British system for public health care that you probably should copy in the United States is the fact that Scotland has its own separate version of it.
And
It's
that's
like-
one's good.
That was good, which is why, in my opinion, if the United States implements universal health care, what it should be is the federal government's like, you are gonna do this. Here is some money to help you out. States, figure out how you want to do it on your own. States manage it and organize it on a more local level
Yes.
because
They
The
just have
ind-
to follow these set guidelines set by
we're
the
gonna give
federal.
you some basic guidelines and some funding. Other than that, work it out yourselves. So that's gonna be
That
and-
still terrifies me, just because you know that there's going to be somebody in state legislature who will absolutely just do the worst possible interpretation of it.
well, yes, inevitably. But the thing is with that is that'll mean the other thing is never talked about is universal healthcare is expensive, and the thing with that is so inevitably the states are going to have to take up some of the funding by raising their own taxes. So the states that want more extensive healthcare then can raise their taxes more to have a more extensive system. While those that want a more basic system from their voters can have that. It lets it be more customized to what the people there want
Which makes sense.
and are willing to pay for. Because keep in mind, if you're trying to set something up universal across the United States, that doesn't work. The United States is too big.
Yeah.
It's like if all of Europe decided, all right, we're gonna have one healthcare system for all of Europe,
Yeah.
and that wouldn't work. It's arguably even some of the states are maybe pushing it for the size where you can practically do it. Alaska.
Yeah, well, Alaska, there's like 5 people living there.
Sure. But it's like the other thing though is in like how in Europe like Coca-Cola tastes different than it does in the United States.
Really?
In Mexico, it tastes different too.
Because the reason, Jimmy, is in states that have universal health care, that means then the state has an incentive, a greater incentive, to interfere in public life to make sure that people are healthy,
Yeah.
because that means they save money
Yeah.
and don't have to spend much tax dollars on it, which means that they have incentive to do things like make it so your sodas are less sugary,
Okay.
your sweet advertised to children, so people are healthier. It's like Japan, for example. Japan is famous for having, one, an extremely good healthcare system, and two, a very, very cheap healthcare system. Because, on
Extremely
average, the
weird
Japanese
commercial.
population is the healthiest population on the planet.
Yeah. Fun fact:
mean-
Spain is like one of the top 5 in terms of like
Because
shit like that.
Japanese population is on average so healthy, it costs them very, very little per capita. So, for relatively low cost, they can afford a very, very high quality system.
Yeah.
Relatively low cost.
Yeah, that
Like
makes
something
sense.
They could
America
put some
will
of
not
that
be
in their
able to
mental
do.
health services. That'd be nice. Or not their mental health services, but lowering the stigma of mental health services.
The other thing that America suffers from is because America's so individualized, that the fact is a public healthcare system, because the government is now incentivizing that, is basically anathema to American culture. Because in a country like, say, Sweden, where they have a public healthcare system, if you are morbidly obese, you are a drain on society. In America, if you're morbidly obese, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Stop complaining that people don't cater to you. That's your problem. It's even
can
if you have
really
like
tell.
if you have an eating disorder that inclines you to being really fat, all right, it's a private healthcare system. Get help with it.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
it's
our
gonna
fault.
cost an arm and a leg, and then it's gonna go back to it because how much money you have to pay
Especially
back.
for, like
Yeah.
someone who binge eats as well, like as a result of an eating disorder. You binge eat whenever you're stressed out. Whenever
Yeah.
people like fat shame you or tell you to just take care of it, and then you look at the bill to take care of it, that stresses you out. You start eating more, and it's just a
Yeah.
self-destructive. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
but the
self-destructive
fact
cycle.
is, regardless of morality, because I'm not talking about that right now. Currently, in the U.S. system, that is, if you are fat, that is a you problem. However, in a public healthcare system, that is now, if you are fat, that is everyone's problem. And that is anathema to American culture, which is why any kind of universal healthcare system in the U.S., I don't know if it'll even work. Like, just universally. It just won't work. I don't think it will. And that sucks, because I personally think it would be something that would greatly benefit America. But with the way American culture is, I don't think it'll work.
Very counterintuitive.
Man, why don't you guys move to Europe? So at least I can have it closer.
I just want to like friends with a med student, right? I'm friends with a med student. I'll get like a couple of like my friends. We'll just buy an island, we'll establish our own little law set, and we're just gonna hope that we can just vibe there for the rest of our lives.
Oh, that's why you need the med student, is you need the doctor. Okay. I was going to say, if you need funds, Mina, from my understanding, the furry community loves to pay for naughty art, and they pay those artists
Oh, I am aware.
very,
I have
very
been.
well.
I got paid by some furries before. Unfortunately, I had to return a commission once. Right, like speaking as like not one like the art scams I was talking about earlier. Somebody had commissioned me once, and they had paid me up front, but I let them know, hey, it's gonna take a while because I'm still very much in school, and so I would do my best to keep on top of like my social circle, my home life, because it was not that great at the time,
Yeah.
and my schooling. And then it had been like a couple of months at that point, and I felt bad. I would send them sketch updates, but I just couldn't get as much work done. And so when they finally snapped at me, which was within reason, granted, because it had been a while, I had just returned the money to them, and that was it.
And that's the right thing to do in that situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm sorry. Then I gave you a product, you didn't like it, and I told you I'm busy, and I did what I could. So here's just take your money back.
You're a very responsible person.
I
Which
tried.
unfortunately means you're better than most people in government in this country. Because the only thing they're responsible
makes me so
for is
sad.
their corporate donors. because
Maybe their own buckets.
bribery. Look, we wrote the law to say it's not, and that's U.S. politics summarized.
Yep. So let's go back to nostalgia for a second. Was there any of your favorite like toys that you guys enjoyed? I know we talked about Bakugan, like
Lego.
Beyblade, and
Lego,
Lego's
yeah.
pretty good.
So
Lego's glorious. I've got a bunch of Lego stuff where you got a box that's got some missed pieces. I've got a train currently that I built, a little Lego locomotive on a shelf. My grandfather and I, we used to build Lego stuff all the time. There's a room in his house that's just lined, just covered in Lego stuff.
Aww.
That was like, I think it was 2 years ago I built this with him.
Have
Like
you
I
ever been to
got it for
Legoland?
Christmas, and I'm like, Christmas gift. I'm like, I go up to him. It's like I just hold it up to him. It's like, for old time's sake, and we like spend a day building this.
That's
It's,
so sweet.
I've got
Cute.
it right here. It's one of those Swiss crocodile electric locomotives.
Oh, that's
That's cute.
cool.
Because the Swiss are one of the first to really mass use electric locomotion.
Mm-hmm.
Because Switzerland has lots of hydropower. Like there was even for a brief time they had electrically fired steam locomotives.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, because in World War II they had a shortage of coal, and they're like, well, we have lots of electricity, so if we just put like electric heaters in the boilers of the steam engine, it works.
I mean, that sounds absolutely brilliant.
I mean, when it was done and they had coal, they converted them back because it was less efficient. But
Yeah.
they did admittedly have some advantages over normal electric locos, like because the boiler doesn't just immediately lose pressure when the fire goes out.
Yeah.
You could run them for a short time off the electrical routes, to like
Which is
go
nice.
off on a branch line and shunt something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Which meant it was basically an electric locomotive that was less efficient, but in exchange, it could also function basically as a fireless steam engine, which is a thing. There is a thing known as a fireless steam locomotive,
Oh.
which is basically it was a thing that was invented to run like trams in cities. They basically use a stationary boiler to pump up, basically instead of a boiler on the engine, they had a big tank that you pumped full of superheated water and use that to basically boil off into steam to run short distances without having emissions from that itself.
I have redeemed
And it had the advantage of it was cheaper to run and required less skill to run without it exploding.
Sorry, Mina, what?
I redeemed the long boy. Everybody
Oh.
stretch, because I needed one. I figured you guys did too.
The fireless steam engines, though, would be replaced in that role by electric trams. However, fireless steam engines are still used to this day.
Where?
Mainly, they're used in like power plants because they can just leech off a bit of the steam from that to power these things.
I mean, makes
They're
sense.
good for like shunting, especially compared to normal steam engines, because those things sit idle. Shunter engines sit idle 90% of the time, and that's very wasteful for a steam engine. The other place fireless locomotives are used is around volatile materials, because a fireless steam engine has no danger of spark or fire, which means it's much safer to use around materials that are very easy to cook off.
For example?
They're often used in like coal mines. They're used around just anything that's super volatile. I don't know things off the top of my head, but stuff like that. They're used. They're niche locomotives, but they have a niche,
And
that
they're
they're used in.
yeah, they're good at it. It's like an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's one of those oddities. It's kind of like how there was for a while in the U.S. there were locomotives that were designed to run on rails made of logs.
I mean,
for
that's
use in logging is what they were used for.
yeah.
And they were very niche, and after like off-road like trucks became a lot more practical and more powerful, they fell out of favor in exchange for those. It's like it's one of those things where like it was designed to solve a specific problem, and it solved that specific problem well. But once that problem no longer existed or a better solution came along, they stopped being used.
That makes sense. Yeah.
There's lots of stuff like that throughout history.
Uh,
Lots of like niche machines designed to perform specific tasks.
So, one one question real quickly. Do you guys still have plushes than you had when you were kids?
Yes. I have on one of my shelves right now. I have the plush I was given basically like the day I was born.
So I have a tiny.
He is currently wearing a bow tie that I got for a Bill Nye Halloween costume. My mom put it around his neck, and he looks very dapper.
Dapper boy. So I have this. I'm going to give you context. So I have this tiny little dog plush that I call Brownie, because of the collar. And this is 2006, 2007. I think it's 2007. We were on the Orlando trip, and we were in this giant mall, and I just see Brownie plopped in a pillar in the middle of the mall, and I pick it up. I think it was me or my sister, one of us two picked it up and showed it to our mom. And we looked around the shops nearby to see if any shop had this plush. And I ended up keeping it, and it has a green collar. And it's a good boy.
Nice.
He's a good boy. I also have like some of my. I have like a big box, big white box with like floral patterns on my room, which houses a lot of plushes that I've had all throughout the years that I have like fond memories of. Like, jokes aside, I have an Angry Birds plush.
Nice.
When it used to be cool to like Angry Birds.
Back before they ruined it.
Yeah. Also, I also have. I think I showed Mina these, but I have some Hamtaro plushes up there too.
Yo,
I do love Hamtaro.
Hamster. Me
I've
and
got-
Mina have this. We both of us love Hamtaro. I'm so happy to know people know of this niche little anime that I grew up with because I had 2 DVDs of
I
Hamtaro
love that too.
that I would watch
I've
a billion times.
I've got my teddy bear for when I was a little baby. I've got like the little baby blanket I got. I've got a different like a blanket thing with a little bear in it. And I've got a pair of plush dogs. That
Oh,
I literally named them because young me was very creative and just as bad at names as I am today. I named them Blue Woofer and Blue Spotted Woofer.
I love that for them. That's so good. Let's see. When I was a baby, I had my baby blanket when I was in middle school. Unfortunately, my dog was teething at the time.
Oh no!
Yeah, Roxy was teething at the time, so she chewed it up. But she loves sleeping with it. Now that she's like older, whenever she doesn't feel that great, if she can, she will like hop into my laundry basket and she'll just hang out in there.
Aw.
Yeah. I still have my first teddy bear. It says it's sewed on my first teddy bear.
Mine. Hold on. I'm just taking him off the shelf. I'm gonna see if I can get a picture of him because he's
Hell
very
yeah.
dapper.
Let me take a
I
picture
just
of
have
my
a lot of
dog.
plushies. I memorized some of the backstories. Not backstories, but like who gave them to me, what time, when they were giving it to me. But I've lost a couple plushies to Roxy when she was teething.
What is?
Like I used to
what
have
does she?
a
What does that
Neopet
mean?
Psy Bunny. Huh?
What does that mean?
Teething?
Yeah.
It means her adult teeth were growing in and she was losing her puppy teeth.
Ah. Basically, okay, got it.
Yeah, so she chewed on a lot of stuff. I lost socks that way. I lost my
No,
my
not
Neopet.
socks.
I lost socks. I lost a Neopet. I'm gonna if I can find a picture of that plush.
I'll post a picture of the dapper boy.
I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post a picture of the tiny boy.
I had this one. Oh, what babies!
Oh, that's a Bunui. So okay, so
Yeah, I had that Neopet when I was growing up. And then Roxy kind of just chewed him up.
that's unfortunate. I've definitely
There's
had.
a reason. There is a reason this guy is kept on the top shelf in the back corner of my room.
That's fair. I have like a little tiger. I had a lion that went with that tiger, and they would vibe, but I lost the lion during the move.
No. So I
And
posted another plushie. That is.
Goofy!
This is Atito. Let me write the name. That's the name. This bear has been, you know, like you see, has like arms and such. The armpit, like the area where the armpit would be, it has had to be sewn in like 3 or 4 times because it has been opened up.
my bear, he's never had to be repaired. However, like right where his arms meet his body, there's basically, especially his right arm, is just it's just empty of plush because that's like where younger me would always like squeeze him by. So that plush is just gone there. His colors are quite faded after all these years.
Yeah, same here.
The little bell in him still works though. He still makes a nice little jingling sound.
I'm getting an ad, and guess what?
What?
They're baby ads.
Oh my god, Twitch! They're definitely not listening to you. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I am now going to show you another one of my like very early childhood plushes. This one's pretty big and has a smaller. I have a smaller one, but I'm not in the mood to grab the box right now.
My server for something. I thought I put something in here once.
This is gonna be a very original name if you. This is Harrods. It comes from the shop Harrods. It's a very dapper boy. I think I've had more bunny related plushes than actual like plushes, like bear plushes. But yeah, I also have like a small. You know what? Fuck him. Careful. I also have my collection of like removable boxes, which I'm kind of worried. Oh, double down. Okay.
Anyway, we're getting close to the 3-hour mark.
Let's do 3 hours, sure. Let's just do 1 more hour. I'm enjoying this.
No, we're currently at 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing 20 minutes more. Also, I just found a Bakugan inside my plushes box.
Lol.
Lol. But yeah, let me see if I can find. Ah, there he is. Oh my god, I forgot I gave this to him. So I have a teddy bear. That was it wasn't a teddy bear. It was a reindeer or a deer. And so it had a like a not a jacket. What's the thing that you put on more when you're a kid to like protect from the cold?
A sweater?
Yeah, a sweater. Hold on. I took it off the reindeer and I put it on the bunny.
Nice.
Also, I have a gigantic like sheep plushie that is like rotund.
All of my plushies are back home with my parents, so I really can't show you guys any of it.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna need a minute to put the box back up because it's up on my shelf, so the cats don't chew on them. Or you know that something bad would happen.
So, by the way, I remember at the start of the stream I mentioned my dog, and at the start of the stream I unfortunately don't have any pictures of the dog, just like in place I can easily access them.
Yeah,
So I pinged my sibling, because I'm sure he has some, to send me a picture of the dog. I'm pretty sure he still hasn't woken up.
dang. I'm trying to find this picture, but I can't find it. But no, I was gonna say when I was 3, I don't have all my plushies, but I was gonna say when I was 3, I had my dad, he got me a piñata of Pikachu. And we have a photo of it somewhere. And I can't find it on my phone, and it makes me so sad.
Also, a few months, maybe last year or so, Me and my sister were going out for a walk, and we found a bunch of plushes on the bin. And we were said, okay, when we go back, we cross the same path, and we take some plushes home. And we found someone with a van taking most of the plushes. We managed to rescue a couple.
Let's go.
I got another seal. I have 2 seal plushes that are basically identical. And I got a turtle.
Nice.
But yeah, that's... Terry, Gogurt.
Mina,
Yeah.
what kind of dog do you have?
Yeah, you guys-
She's a Chihuahua mix.
Ugh. Sorry, I'm not a fan of Chihuahuas.
Yeah, she's loud. She's loud when she doesn't recognize that you're a person, but when she realizes, oh wait, that's human, she'll go up to you. She'll like love you. She's a baby.
That
I love
sounds
her
about
so
right
much.
for Chihuahuas. Doesn't recognize you're a person for a moment. Chihuahuas certainly have a reputation.
Yes, they do.
She's
I
a
would
chunky
punt.
little
I would
girl.
punt a Chihuahua to the moon, and I would not be ashamed of it.
You touched my dog. I punch your face.
I didn't say
That is
yours.
a very head empty expression from the dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor girl, she's 14.
Also, let me post the one of my most that is very much a head empty moment. This is Darius.
She's like, why'd you wake me up?
It's my boy.
No, dude. You've named your Flareon plush after our friend.
Yes. Hey, look, it's like my closest friend here. Okay, it's the person I've
Fair
known the
enough.
most in Discord, apart from Tina. But like Tina is a very talented artist. Not to be confused with you, Mina. It's Tina. But yeah, they're my closest friends, so that's why he's called Darius.
My family has had 3 dogs. They've all been Basset Hounds or some variant thereof, because we're pretty sure one of them wasn't actually a proper Basset. It was like some variant breed that's slightly different. But the current one's named Lottie. She is indeed dog.
Dog. So I want to show you guys a picture of a cat. This isn't our cat, but so this guy's from the neighbors. But he likes to hang out in our garden. So we called him Gray. Because Gray.
My mom talks about how when she was younger there was like a porch cat that she'd tend to.
Their eyeliners are so cute. They kind of look like Rivali.
The porch cat though that we went into, you can tell where I get my sense of humor from. Well, my mom named the porch cat that she tended to lobotomy
What?
when she was a child.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I get my sense of humor from somewhere.
Gee, I wonder where.
It's like, are you familiar with that picture? What's the guy throwing gasoline on the fire? It's me, my sense of humor, things I'm not supposed to joke about. Are you familiar with that picture? I sent that to my mom, and my mom sent back to me, like one of those pictographic explanations of the definition of a phrase, and it's when the apple doesn't fall far when the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yep.
As we like to say in Spain, no tal palo tal astilla.
This is a picture of me when I was like 10, and my first dog. He was a miniature pinscher. His name was Rocky. And then when he passed, my parents got me Roxy. And that's why she's named that way.
Aww. So I was just scrolling pictures to find other cats of mine, and I just found one of the pictures of one of my cats that passed on this February, Luca.
I'm sorry.
I miss him.
I was gonna share a picture of my dog, the one that passed about a year ago. Let me see.
My sister and I think it was like yesterday or the day before. It was the day before because we were at our.
This was Candy.
Is that a poodle?
She was a Bichon Frise,
Ah.
and She was so funny. I loved her so much. She was super expressive.
So two
She
days
reacts
ago,
were good.
yeah, I'm sure of it. So
I
yeah,
remember.
I found my childhood Build-A-Bears.
oh my god,
Yo.
Build a Bear. Aww. Pets
They're
are just like part of a family, and it's just so heart wrenching to lose them sometimes. Also, those are
Yeah.
it's
adorable.
hard.
I remember. Forget which of my relatives it was who had this pair of dogs. It was a pair of dogs. One of them was significantly older than the other, and the younger one wasn't very smart. The older one figured out that they could steal the younger one's food by barking in a certain way, which would get the other one to go run off to the door, thinking that there was someone at the door. Which meant they basically had to be watched over to make sure the older one didn't steal the younger one's food by checking the older one, the younger one, in the exact same way every day.
Oh,
They
jeez.
never learned.
I love that for them.
It's just dog.
Shut.
One of the things my sibling did is likes to take pictures with dog. One of the only pictures I have of the dog that I could actually find also has them in it, and I don't want to just post a picture of them.
I mean, you can just scribble their face with like markers on the editing phone.
But it's also that they captured it like the meme, like the what is it, the homophobic bourgeois or however the hell that species.
The gay couple that owns the homophobic dog.
Yeah, the homophobic dog. They basically took the picture to look like that, and said that because my sibling apparently really likes those memes. And my sibling is trans, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
The because Basset Hounds they do indeed have the snoot.
Boopable.
For you,
The
Do it for you.
oh no.
Kermie.
The the yeah, all the Basset Hounds we've had have had the Beagle style coloration to them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, our first pair was named Sally and Stella. Stella, we're pretty sure was not actually like Basset Hound, but was like the weird variant breed, mainly because unlike most Basset Hounds, she was not very lazy. It's like my dad found like a list that was like the 5 laziest dog breeds. Like number 1, Basset Hound. This dog is so lazy. You will need to remind yourself to feed this dog because you will forget that you have this dog.
Oh wow. Yikes.
That's funny.
Stella was not. Uh, Stella liked to climb on everything. Stella would climb on things and all the time was very, very much the run after things. She was also not very smart. But one thing that the two of them would do is when they went to like the dog park. Basset Hounds are obviously known for not having very long legs.
Hmm.
They're very, very small boys. Oh my god, what the hell did you just post in the Discord? Anyway, so what these two would do is Stella would just run after the bigger dogs, and then Sally would just take the inside line at a moderate pace. And at least one occasion, she like ended up like running out in front of them, and then just plopping herself down, and then and then tripped the bigger dog, which did a like full front flip.
Oh god.
Much smaller, very low dog. Basset Hounds. Basset Hounds are a dog that cannot swim.
Oh.
They
cannot.
are very dense dogs with very short legs. I mean, they'll try to swim. They'll do the doggy paddle,
Yeah,
and
but
they can like maneuver a short while, but they'll very quickly start to sink because They do not have the ability to remove enough water to actually swim.
Hmm.
They will try, and they fell into the pool a couple times, and we pulled them out. They've started like one of the times like Stella fell into the pool, made her way over to the stairs enough that it was very easy to get her out of the water.
Hmm.
But she also had to be taught on a couple occasions that the pool cover, there's still water under it. We no longer have a pool in the backyard for completely different reasons, but mainly because the equipment for it finally failed, and we're like, Grandpa has a pool, he's literally next door, there's no reason to maintain both of them. This
Fair
one's
enough.
a piece of shit anyway, just tear it out. Plus, we get a tax rebate for it.
Fair enough.
The Basset Hounds. If you're not familiar, Jimmy, with why Basset Hounds were originally created, it's if you're a rich man, you had a bloodhound, and you hunted on horseback.
Hmm.
If you're a poor man, you couldn't afford a horse, so you need to be able to keep up with your dog on foot. So that's why the Basset Hound was created. And that's literally the history for it. It's the poor man's bloodhound. And the dog is it's a fairly easy dog to take care of because they're relatively lazy dogs, and they you can take them for relatively short walks, and even though they're a dog that's like they're in the weight class of a medium large dog, but they have the exercise requirements of a small dog because their legs are so short they tire out pretty quickly. Unless they're like really young, then you have to run them around constantly because young dogs have all the energy. But you know, they're relatively easy to care for. The other thing is if you like take them to the dog park, you don't need to like. Usually, the way dog parks work in the U.S. is if they're below a certain height, they can go in the small dog area. Otherwise, if they're above a certain weight, they can go in the big dog area safely.
Mm-hmm.
Basset Hounds are generally able to go in both and meet the qualifications, so it's whichever has more dogs. They're big enough that they can easily play with the bigger dogs without really having to worry about accidentally getting hurt. And they small enough they can work with the small dogs, and they're lazy enough and gentle enough you don't need to worry about them accidentally hurting the smaller dogs.
Or the kids.
Or the kids, yeah. They are very, very good around kids. They're like the only breed of dog that's arguably better around kids is Newfoundlands. Which are you familiar with the breed of dog Newfoundland, Jimmy?
Nope. I'm not. Okay, so you guys talking about dog breeds is kind of a whack to me because I've grown up ever since 2012 with cats. Like, the only experience I have with dogs is Nintendogs.
Let's see. Here's a 1930s
Did you guys-
vintage photo.
Did you guys ever play Nintendogs when you were kids?
Play what?
Nintendogs.
No,
Yes, I did. I lost it, but I did play Nintendogs.
I did not.
My sister got me a copy of Nintendogs for €2, and I'm like,
I'm
okay.
gonna post some images, Jimmy. This is a 1930s vintage picture of a man with a Newfoundland.
So it's a bit of an old picture.
Yeah. So that's a picture of a man with his Newfoundland. And
Maybe.
I'd like to point out for context
Oh, big boy.
that, if I were to estimate, is a Newfoundland that is on the relatively small side.
Hmm.
Newfoundlands come in 3 sizes: big, bigger, and jumbo. They are huge, but they are like the original Disney Peter Pan, the like nurse dog.
Yeah.
That was a Newfoundland. Newfoundlands are very well known for being very good caretakers. They were quite literally trusted to be left in charge of watching over infants frequently,
Hmm.
which makes it very ironic that the Russians once, while trying to breed a dog for something, managed to primarily use a Newfoundland and find a dog whose primarily reaction to seeing someone drowning was attempt to drown them harder. Given that Newfoundlands were originally bred as water rescue dogs, so very impressive how well they managed to fuck that up.
Yeah.
They tried. It was a shitty attempt, but they tried.
So do you guys only grow up with dogs, or do you also have cats at some point?
I did not have cats.
Growing up, I wasn't allowed to have a dog until I was at least 9. So just dogs. And
Okay.
my mom, I think, is allergic to cats.
So
My mom's allergic to cats and dogs.
how,
Damn.
She'll have dogs anyway, though.
does all of our mothers have an allergy to cats? Mine is also allergic
Half
to
of
cats.
me
My
is
mother's
convinced
allergic
they're not.
to a lot of things. My mother has a lot of allergies.
Half of me is convinced that my mom is not actually allergic to cats. She doesn't like the idea of actually cleaning the litter box, though.
Rude.
But like, jokes aside, my mom is allergic to cats, and we've had cats since 2012. At one point, we've even had 12 cats in the house.
Oh, she must be miserable.
She's gotten better with having cats in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
eventually
mom,
you can grow tolerance to your allergy.
it's because allergies are your body's attacking something by mistake. But if it gets used to, it's like, oh, I don't actually have to attack this. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately,
The-
it doesn't work if it's like deadly every time.
Yeah. My mom, it's not too bad for my mom because one, we have a bunch of hardwood floors, so that's aren't too bad. That and we have a Roomba.
Hey!
Roomba.
I don't think it's actually a Roomba brand, but it's a Roomba.
It's basically
the little
a
robot
Roomba.
vacuum
Roomba
cleaners. They
TM.
are called Roombas. It's just the name. It's like how all of the little adhesive bandages are called Band-Aids.
Yep.
It's just what it is. I'm sorry, you've lost your trademark. I don't care. The my mom's allergic to a lot of stuff. It's like my mom is allergic to milk. She's not lactose intolerant. She's allergic to milk. There's a difference.
The upper atmosphere is cooling, prompting new climate concerns.
What?
I'm looking at news right now.
My mom said she's gotten to that age where she's actually starting to also develop lactose intolerance to go with her milk allergy.
Oh no.
So that's fun.
No cheese for her.
No, she eats cheese anyway. She's allergic to milk, but the more processed it is, the less of a problem it is for her.
Huh.
Because it is an actual allergy, not lactose intolerance. Those are two completely different things.
Yeah. Also, I just found this headline.
Actually,
It's pretty interesting.
lactose intolerance is actually a thing in the majority of the human population. It's just the majority of white people are lactose tolerant, so it's seen as a weird thing by mainstream media, which is, American white people.
I just got a weird headline. Do you guys want to hear it real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
At this point, just close it down temporarily. Wendy's drive-thru worker tells customers they're out. They're out of nearly everything, including Frosties, strawberry lemonade, and potatoes.
That's
Okay.
How do you keep a restaurant open to that point? Corporate greed.
Yeah. Oh, have you guys seen like the conspiracy related to the McDonald's ice cream machine?
Go on.
So, you know how McDonald's ice cream machine is like always not working, especially in the US?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently McDonald's uses a specific variant of that ice cream machine. And like McDonald's corporate is like really buddy with the people who make that machine.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual McDonald's stores are not run by McDonald's corporate, they're franchises. And
Yeah, they're
mandated they have-
franchisees.
Yeah, and they have to, and they're mandated they have to use this machine. And it's like the conspiracy is they're given one that breaks down more often, so they have to call the repair guy of the company that the McDonald's corporate is buddy with to get it fixed. The other thing is that it specifically puts out nonsense error codes that the actual employees can't read, so they have to call the guy. And apparently, like, someone actually looked into it, and like the number one reason though that it puts out an error when they get into the store in the morning is that it does a cleaning cycle, and if there's too much of the stuff in it when it does the cleaning cycle, it won't properly do the cleaning cycle, and the amount they're told to put in it is too much for it to actually properly do the cleaning cycle.
Huh.
And then there's like someone actually like third party made a device to help them diagnose it so they didn't have to call the guy, and then they got sued.
Bruh.
Not by the company who makes the machine by McDonald's corporate. Because that's the capitalist dystopia America is, and we've crossed the 3-hour mark.
Look at these.
I do like the chicken nuggets though.
Chicken nuggies. I don't really eat McDonald's. I don't know. I remember
I haven't had it in a
eating.
hot minute.
I remember eating McDonald's in funny place, Italia. Because when we were in Rome, there were a lot of McDonald's when we were walking, and sometimes we took breaks, and there was some McDonald's nearby, and I literally buy the £1, the $1, €1, whatever burger, and eat that. And that would, help out a little bit. Because it's a burger. Even if it's €1, it's still a burger. It's still going to feel something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it helped.
It honestly, McDonald's is a place that's like, it's known as being like the joke, like the crappy American food, but at the same time, sometimes you do just want the cheap, crappy American food.
Yeah.
It's like how in the first Iron Man movie, Iron Man gets back from being abducted by the not Taliban, and the first thing he wants a burger from I think he wants from Burger King, but still, first thing he wants, first meal upon return to America, I want a fast food burger. All I want.
All you need to feel comfortable.
Sometimes that's all you want. Yeah.
But like, I was watching that guy. His name is Jordan. All I know is his name is Jordan, right? Fast Food Secrets Club man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, McDonald's has forgotten who McDonald's is. Like, who McDonald's is for, and the reason why they're McDonald's. Right? People don't go for the quality of food.
Yeah.
They go for it, like, because it's cheap, it's fast, and sometimes that's all you need.
McDonald's is the Little Caesars of burgers. It's hot and it's ready.
But even now, like, stuff doesn't go below $5 anymore. Like, we used to have the dollar menu growing up. We don't have that anymore. That doesn't exist. Dollar menu is just the drinks.
You know what's the thing that is even more infuriating, though? How people are like, oh, but if we raise the minimum wage, the Big Mac's gonna cost more. Bro,
most of that money's going to the top, dude. It's not even trickling down.
No, in like Denmark, the minimum wage is like double what it is in the U.S., and they have to actually give them like double the benefits, and the Big Mac costs less. Don't give me that shit about raising the minimum wage is gonna raise it. McDonald's is scalping.
It's only gonna raise the price of the product because as the CEO is like, oh, if we're gonna raise minimum wage, we might as well raise how much we want to get paid, which means we have to raise how much we're selling. It's literally just because they are giving themselves the extra payment at the top, not because they're paying their workers that much. And even then, in some places, they're paying like what, $7 because that's minimum.
I think in parts of California, it's much more than that.
Not California, just nationwide.
I think nationwide it's $7.
$7 an hour.
$7 an hour is minimum wage federally.
If the federal minimum wage had like kept up with what it was originally matched to, I think it would be something like $20 an
Which
hour.
is how much my mom makes as a housekeeper.
And you know what's the dumbest argument I've ever seen against raising the minimum wage? People being like, oh, but then the McDonald's employees make as much as I. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't make more money. That means you are underpaid. You shouldn't be against raising the minimum wage because it means that these people will make as much as you do. That means that you're underpaid, and if that means what you can do then is if they raise minimum wage, you go to your boss and be like, hey boss, give me a wage, give me a higher wage, or I can go to McDonald's and make more money, make the same amount of money.
So
for less effort.
How many days would it be like usually a month? How many days of work would it be per month?
That's 5-day work week, 4 weeks a month, so that's about 20 days a month.
And that would be livable wage, which should have been the minimum, but people decided to play semantics.
Minimum wage used to be a livable wage, but then it stopped.
People decided to play semantics.
Yeah, it's completely different, but it's like how the House of Representatives used to keep expanding as the population went up, and then in like the 1920s or something, it just stopped doing that. So now there's like half as many representatives as it's supposed to be.
So okay, so I have let's say 7 hours in an 8 hour work day would be 56 hours, and that would be, let's say 31 minutes a month. Then it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 days. 8 minus 31 would be 23. No, yeah, right. I'm not doing my math wrong. 31 minus 8 is 23.
I don't know.
Arts major, dude. There's a reason I didn't go anything with math.
So you guys would be getting paid $1,288 a month if it's minimum wage.
Yep. You want to know how much the rent is for this apartment?
I'm gonna say 2,340.
2,500.
Oh damn! I wasn't even that far.
You were not that far off.
Why am I getting so close to these numbers? Like Meep asked me before something about landmines. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna say 35%, and he said no, it's 33.
Yeah. How much Ukraine is land? To be fair, at this point, it's probably more than 35 because that estimate was from 4 months ago.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, we've been going for just over 3 hours. Should we send the Roomba back to its dock?
We should get the Roomba back to charge. Yeah.
Yes, we'll sign off after this ad.
Okay.
'Cause I'm getting ads.
I'm getting 5 ads.
I'm in ad number 2 right now.
Anything you guys want to talk about before we finish? Anything that crosses your mind?
Me, if you really like Legos, have you been to Legoland? I've been meaning to ask you this since we talked about toys.
I've been to like one of the little Legoland Discovery Centers things, but I've not been to one of the big Legolands now. You know, the only like big like proper theme park I've been to that's like an actual theme park, not just an amusement park. So I've been to the California Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, I've also been there.
I was, the thing is, I was very miffed because like the week I went or whatever, Star Tours was closed for maintenance, and then like 2 days after I got home, I saw an ad saying that they'd reopen Star Tours.
I hate that.
That's unfortunate.
Dude, I went to a Homestuck event with my friend who came to visit me from Utah not too long ago. And we went to the Requiem Cafe, which is a D&D inspired cafe in Anaheim. Very fun. I recommend it. So we went to the Homestuck event, and we didn't get to go the first day because that was a private event for tickets, and we didn't buy our tickets in time. So we went the second day, and it was so much fun. We got some pies and some drinks inspired by the webcomic, and it was great. And then the Saturday comes around, and she has to fly home. And then somebody who was super important to the fandom, their name is Octopimp. I don't know if you guys know his series, because he used to do 50% off the free Iwatobi Slim Club.
The name, it sounds
abridged.
familiar.
I have no idea who they are.
It's okay. They're a voice actor.
Okay.
And they were there Saturday, and we were so pissed because he was the main reason that my friends and we decided to start a voice acting channel together all those years ago.
Aww.
And we missed it.
It'd be like that.
So pissed.
It'd be like
It
that.
really did.
I don't know. Okay, so I honestly do not know what to say because I'm just like I'm a very boring person. At least I consider myself kind of boring because I don't do. Oh my god! Also, the music stopped. We've been here talking for so long. The relaxing Gran Turismo music stopped.
Damn.
Yeah, well, we were planning on like
Peacing out.
Yeah, peacing out. But it's just like it's so fun to hang out with you guys. And it's like relaxing and it's good to talk, catch up on people and all that stuff. So it's nice, you know.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure being here with you dudes.
Same. So yeah, it's not like every day when you get to do this. But
every Sunday.
Yeah, but no doy. But yeah, it's nice because it's I'm finishing this week work, and I honestly have no fucking idea what I'm going to do after I do the things that I have planned for summer, and I'm kind of worried.
I guess see what the future holds and what opportunities open up.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you might as well like double post because like you have the VODs for these podcasts. You can put them on YouTube.
I
'Cause now
have
it's easier
been.
to join the partner program.
I mean, I have been posting them on YouTube.
That's good.
Right.
But
Well,
yeah,
I've just thought of something that
Mhm.
I'll save as a next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I'll ask you to try and remind me of this. There's a story I have read. Uh, what's the actual date on it? Hold on. I'm double checking it.
take your time.
Called the 1969 Easter Mass Incident, or as
Uh-huh.
the nickname for this story is known, Bread Jesus.
Oh, that sounds funny.
And
Okay.
next week on the Roomba of Thought, if you two remind me, I will pull it up and read it to you.
Okay.
Sweet.
And
I
it
put
is-
a note in the chat.
It is very hilarious and very sacrilegious, which I am all for.
Oh yeah,
I-
if you guys have like ideas for other stuff in for the podcast, feel free to just save them for other days. I'm always like, ideas for this is always nice because I like I said, I don't have a lot of ideas according to this. It's just more like hanging out and talking. That's more of the
think
idea.
that's what a podcast is.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, I
Who should we
think.
raid?
Oh, good idea. Good idea. Let me check. I think Ryan's on. Oh, sorry. I have not checked at all viewership on Twitch today. I have not seen how many people have been watching me today. 3 people, okay, which is probably you two and
I saw
Octo.
it peak at 5.
It did.
Peaked at 5, okay. Well, the last time peaked at 7, so whatever. Potato,
You
potato.
know, the idea box channel for the Room of Thought Discord. Let's go.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
You
Also,
know
if
what? If the Room of Thought eventually does get big, we can modify the Discord to be the official Room of Thought Discord for the fans.
True. That'd be fun.
Any ideas, you two, for rating?
Oh, I just looked back at the Discord. I completely forgot because Jimmy made this. It defaulted the stuff in the server, so it's the channels detection and the channels defaults.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
it's in
canales,
Spanish.
canales de voz. It's all in
Texto
Spanish.
canal de voz. Yeah, no doubt because my my Discord's in Spanish.
You're
Uh,
in Spain.
Spanish guy
I'm
created it.
in Spain. Okay. Hold on.
I'm in Spain without the S.
I'm
I'm
in
in
So yeah.
Spain without P. No, wait. No.
Scene?
No.
He's not sane. He is kind
Spain
of
without the
insane.
A. There it is.
Spain.
Yee.
Okay, I think that's another thing I want to talk about next time on Dragon
Next
Ball
time on
Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Just to round this out while Jimmy was looking for someone to raid, I remember seeing apparently in like one of the Dragon Ball Z's is like the
Ryan is still
like,
doing stuff.
one of the first times or whatever. Like,
Yeah, but he's
Goku
finishing.
or something.
So I
It's
don't
like
know
the-
if.
Will Goku be able to defeat Frieza? Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z, and then it drops the episode name for the next episode. Frieza defeated.
Yep, that's
Like,
pretty much what it's like.
Dang. Spoiling the cliffhanger immediately with the name of the next episode. Like, oh my god.
Absolutely brilliant.
Also,
Anime
Dragon Ball Z
translations
is
just really had it like that.
huge in Mexico.
yes.
Oh yeah, we had a whole discussion about this not too long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of our
We're like-
previously on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it wasn't a Roomba of Thought thing. It was like one we were talking about while we were playing Mystery Dungeon, I think.
Either that or
in
Minecraft.
Mexico, Dragon Ball is so big that businesses will not advocate, but advertise using Dragon Ball. Like that one strip club that said if Goku won his next battle with Beerus, there would be free strip club dances.
Over on our team Discord, Pokemon Mystery Dungeons and Dragons stuff, over on twitch.tv/Mina Raichu.
And you don't need to do that.
No, he has to, or I will grate his face like cheese. Because goddammit, go follow Mina. She deserves it.
Now featuring, we've actually figured out how the combat system in theory is supposed to work.
We need to king
Which
that
we
out.
Another 3 hours trying to figure it out because that source book is not very good.
That source book is
It
the
was not.
devil.
Very fun to figure this out, but we figured it out, and Jimmy and I plan to do a test run later on, whenever he's free. So, Meep, if you want to hop in for practice as well, I'm.
Oh
down
yeah,
for that.
I'd be down for that.
Also, I'm
yeah.
going to have dinner soonish, but hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get lunch.
After dinner, how about we play some Minecraft. I'm in the mood for playing some
I'd be
Minecraft.
down to play some Minecraft.
That's good. My
Okay.
parents canceled on me for coming over to visit, so
Cringe.
because they're all right now.
I'd be down to play some Minecraft unless my cousin shows up. 'Cause he might
You
be-
know, let's rate Ryan because he is the boy. Let's
He
rate
is the
Charmaine.
boy.
Let's rate Charmaine the
my
gamer.
cousin deploys soon. 'Cause he's in the Marines.
Gotcha.
Good luck for
My
him.
brother's in the chair force.
Oh no.
Do you just call it the chair force?
That's
The-
all it is.
The memes for the branch of the military is you've got the Air Force, which is known as the Chair Force. Just ignore the amount of G forces those people need to be able to withstand.
He doesn't fly at all.
And then you've got the Marines, who are
A crayon.
they eat crayons, and god damn are they a menace to society, but they're our goddamn menace to society. God bless America.
I saw like this meme, right? Or somebody was like punishing one of their coworkers for having a messy desk by like moving all of their stuff outside into the parking lot. And they're just like, why? It could have taken him 5 minutes to clean up. There was no reason for you to take an entire afternoon to move out all of his stuff from his office.
The principle of the matter.
And it's just like, you don't need to do that, dude.
But
This
I
isn't
want
the
to.
military.
Guys are gonna
But also,
have
they
messy
shouldn't be
desks
doing that in the
future now,
military.
is he? He's not gonna have a messy desk in the future now, is he?
So, we're going to now rate Charmaine the gamer. It's been a pleasure to speak with you too. We'll see each other probably, definitely, hopefully, next Sunday for another episode of the Roomba Thought. For those that are, interested in my streams and not just the Roomba Thought, tomorrow we're going to be playing more, hopefully, Calamity single player. Hopefully my game doesn't lag the shit out of itself, and we can just play normally. So yeah, until then, bye bye. Alright. He is actually just fighting Bowser.